Let me just post the message on Twitter. Probably should get it already. And we just do that. Okay, cool. Let me skip this one song. But yeah, okay. So we're gonna play Living End today. Now what is Living End about is essentially this card right here. There's a lot of text. Don't worry about the first part, worry about the second part. Each player exiles all creature cards from his or her graveyard, then sacrifices all creature he or she controls, then puts all cards he or she exiled in this way onto the battlefield. Note that he or she should be day exiled, because that just seems much cleaner, but that's a side note. Right, so here, what you do is, well, you can suspend it, it's very slow, but like the card is super powerful, right? It's like call back to Living Death from Tempest, which I'll display for you here. So Living Death, each player exiles all creature cards from his or her graveyard. It's essentially the same card. And that was what they did in Time Spiral, is they had these like really powerful effects from old cards, and they put them on suspend. Like Ancestral Visions is a callback to Ancestral Recall. Now, we can't cast this card normally, but Demonic Dread and Violent Outburst have Cascade. They have some other effect, like target creature can block this turn, and creatures you control get +1/+0 until end turn. Neither of we don't care about either of those. We care, well, sometimes Violent Outburst can matter, but we care about the Cascade. We care that we're gonna like basically look for our library for a card that's cheaper than Violent Outburst or Demonic Dread, and that we can cast. We only have Living End, so we cast Living End. And essentially, that's how the deck operates. You cycle. You swap play and graveyard. So you cycle a bunch of creatures like Ceradon, Carabids, Architects of Will, Horror, Broken Land, Street Wraith, and Fairy Macabre. And like in the first turns, then you just do Living End and try to kill them as quickly as possible. We have Fairy Macabre to discard up another graveyard style deck to avoid our Living End being a problem. And we have 4 Beast Within to kind of deal with any troublesome permanents. It also gives us a creature for Demonic Dread, which can be relevant in quite a few matchups. This gives us an out to like a lot of main deck problems. So I decided to run the full 4. So like, I'm going to run 2 versions of Living End. One is like super experimental, and we'll try it after. But this one is like the box standard in my view. This is like nothing special, nothing fancy, straight up Living End. Like, this is like... There's no tech. This is just as clean a version as you can get. I play 19 lands and 4 Simian Spirit Guides. Some versions play 19 and free, or some versions play 20 and 2. Some versions also play Archfiend of Ifnir. I just want as fast a clock as possible, so no sack would cost more than 1. And because we have so many free mana spells like Beast Within and the Cascade spells, sometimes you're like stuck on 2 lands, and sometimes you just want to accelerate to a free drop. So I use Simian Spirit Guide to make sure like I'm as fast as possible main deck. Post board, we board in Fulminator Mages. Fulminator used to be main deck, and still has use against a lot of decks in the meta. It's just that it fell with the speed of the... Game 1 I want to be as fast as possible. Just max cyclers, so like avoid dead cards. Beast Within like is okay because it's an enabler for Demonic Dread at instant speed. Plus it deals with any permanent. But post board we have access to 4 Fulminators. You have 2 Brindleboars kind of like as a hedge against Burn, which can be an awkward matchup, but one of these should help a lot. Ricochet Trap is your main way to deal with counter magic. If they have a limited amount of counter magic, this is good. If they have too much, it's a problem, but yeah. And then we have Free Engotures and Free Trick Moss to deal with either problematic creatures or problematic artifacts that combine with our Beast Withins. This version's pretty vulnerable to Graveyard Hate, as most would be, most Living End decks are, but this one is a little more than usual. Because I just like if they have Relic or something, like your best way of fighting those cards is usually going to be to cycle a ton, get a Living End off a Demonic Dread, and then like respond with a it's very hard to fight Graveyard Hate. You can, like, what you have to do is like either Beast Within the Relic to kind of get rid of it and then cycle a bunch, or something along those lines. But yeah, we're going to play the cleanest version to start with. And then after, I have a very special version, which I don't know if it's good or not. I like kind of like brewed it yesterday, so we'll see how good it is. I'm gonna like reset the score for burst versions because I think the second version could like just do poorly and not count. It could also be really cool. But yeah, let's just see how this goes. Right, so competitive modern. We went 2 free yesterday with Infect. It didn't feel like the deck was very good. Let me double check. One of the most annoying parts is Magic Online crashed, so the deck I created did not get saved. So I'm gonna have to like recreate it. But yeah, so like I had it over like ready, but it's okay. I actually saved it, so this is the end. Let's go. Right. This deck hasn't seen much play recently. This is kind of like one of the drawbacks of like having to plan a month stream like this much in advance is like some decks like just disappear from the meta. So Living End is like one of those decks like you might see once in a tournament. It was very popular during Eldrazi Winter because people liked it. Those people were sadly wrong. Eldrazi Winter was just Eldrazi Winter. You should just play. You should have just played Ayavugin and the Eldrazi Clique. There's no real reason to play much else. Okay. But yeah. One interesting thing about the mana base in this deck, by the way, it uses a lot of fast lands to avoid taking damage because you are like only acting on turn 3. But you're doing a lot of turn 1 cycles, and you are taking some life loss from Street Rave. You just like the problem is like your life total is a resource, and like if you're against Burn or something, like that's gonna change the matchup. It's worth noting Grove of the Burn Willows. If you face a lot of Shadow in your meta, having an extra Grove might be okay. Or 2. It's a really cool way to kill like a Shadow on 12. But Shadow's the plan against Shadow normally is just to one-shot them. They have Stubborn Donaldo, so it's not a really good matchup. Alright, well, let's see if we play. It's took quite a while. I think people are like mostly excited by New Standard and Rick's Limited, but as I said yesterday, I think Rick's Limited veneer is going to wear off very fast. People are not very happy with the format already. And that's like 3 days in, so I'll play first. This hand is awful. Anything with 5 lands is clearly going to be horrific when you're playing a 19 land deck, so we're going to mulligan this. This hand is not very good either. We do have like 2 Beast Within and a Cascade. So our hand is redundant. The problem is we have no cyclers. We do have a ton of cyclers though in the deck. So I don't think it's unreasonable to keep this and like hope to draw into some cyclers. And I think the 2 Beast Withins with Violent Outburst can buy us a ton of time. So I'm going to keep this because it has a plan. It's not a very good plan, but it's fine. Like we have 2 lands. So we're like 1 mana short of casting either of these, and we have 2 Beast Withins. So we're going to keep. Our mana is also pretty good. We're going to bottom. The second basic swamp is like the actual worst land. So bottoming that is actually okay. Like you almost never want 2 in play. I think it's only like you only have 2 because you only play 4 Verdant Catacombs. So like you don't want Blood Moon to be too harsh, and you want a third land for path most of the time. So against like Eldrazi Tron, they don't play Relics main deck, which is good. Beast Within is pretty strong against them, and Violent Outburst, like Living End, like naturally works against Eldrazi Tron, which is great. So we have nothing we can do during our opponent's turn. The only reason that we would cycle here is so that the reason to cycle here would be like if we drew another land, that we would want to play tapped. Let's see. We don't have that many, and it's fine to play Swamp, but they don't normally play main deck Relic. My opponent might Chalice for 0 though, like in the dark. Well, they'll Chalice for 0 if they see me do this, but we have 2 Beast Withins, so it's actually kind of close. I'm gonna cycle. I know it tells my opponent what I'm on, but like drawing out, like if I draw a land, okay, well that was just awful. Yeah, these are not. You don't want too many of these. Like you're playing 8 because you need to draw 1, like, and you're playing against discard decks. They're playing Fodnot, so we can probably like remove one of the effects. Okay, Reshaper. Reshaper can be awkward. Yeah. Okay, Street Rave is pretty good. Now we have Grove. Now I have to think what I do. I might... So I could, like, kill the temple now and accept to take more damage, or I could kill their temple on their upkeep. To not take the damage, but then my opponent can map. I think that's fine overall. I don't want a violent outburst right away. We only have, like, we have 9 damage, but our opponent's not taking, like, damage from their own land, so this is not going to be enough. We need, like, more. Oh, yeah, I'm stopping on their turn. Right, okay. They could also, like, try to get Tron. If they do that, then we can Beast Within the other Tron piece. Yeah, killing Temple Upkeep's probably correct here anyways. Like, they're gonna, like... Sacking the map is okay, because what's gonna happen is they're gonna get a land. They're probably not gonna do too much this turn. We're gonna... Oh, yeah, okay. They get another Temple? Sure. We're gonna kill the second Temple. If they Chalice for 0, though, that's awkward. So... One thing here that I have to consider is, like, Chalice for 0 is a card that exists in my opponent's deck. And I have, like, two of my 4 answers to it. But my opponent probably would have ran it out here. Fairy Macabre is pretty nice just because it's, like, it just, like, exiles the creature. So it gives me the avenue to kill this Reshaper. But I like, killing my opponent's Eldrazi Temple once again. I think that's the best line. And then, like, we can violent out... And then we can, like, draw another card. And hopefully it's, like, a Street Wraith or something to yeah. The Reshaper is awkward for us, but yeah. Let's kill this Temple on upkeep. The Mana Denial Plan can be really strong against, like, a deck like this. So, yeah. If my opponent has the, top decks the Chalice, this is horrific, but... Because, like, our opponent has more than enough pressure to kill us. If they don't have the Chalice, this is fine. I have no plans to Fairy Macabre or anything here. Let's see here. Let's see what we draw. Blood Crypt? Like, whatever we get back has to be sufficient to win. Oh, hi. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, like, whatever we get has to be sufficient. So we're at 9. Let's see what the clock would be. Like, 6, 9, 11. The problem is we're going to have to Violent Outburst this turn before the attack. Because otherwise we die. Which is not, like, where I want to be. Yeah. It's kind of rough, because I could, like, decide that I need to do 2 Living Ends. And if I need to do 2 Living Ends, I should keep the Macabre. The other thing is this is 11 damage. So, like, giving my opponent a life can be relevant, too. Like, I could decide to take 2 from this Blood Crypt. So my opponent doesn't, like, gain life. And it's kind of close. They have Reality Smasher. I gotta make them gain a life. I think the cost, like, to take damage is too high, so, yeah. They could if they have a main deck Warping Will, I get, like, caught off guard for sure here, though. That was, like, something I should consider, but they always had 2 mana up, so it's not like I could play around it apart from, like, upkeeping. And you can see the difference of having Beast Within or Fulminator here. So, yeah, here... We're, like, forced to... Yeah. Let's get rid of these temples for what it's worth. And then we're just gonna cast this, and if my opponent's gonna board in Warping Whale, so Warping Whale is really strong against Living End. Cards. Yeah. Okay, Living End happens. So this dies, so hopefully it's not gonna draw a land or something too good. Reality Smasher? Yeah, we can beat Smasher. Especially if they miss their land drop. Oh, they didn't? Okay. Well, Ghost Quarter's okay. Reshaper? Sure. Let's see here. Unfortunately, we're like, I'll land off casting the Street Wraith. Otherwise, I would like very happily use it here. I think I can cycle it unless my opponent has a... The problem with cycling this now is if my opponent has a... what's it called? Like the last Eldrazi Temple, this is bad. Because then I can't, otherwise I just die if I do that. So, and I do have to attack through this Reshaper. So let's just see like what happens first. My opponent's probably gonna chump. Pre-board this matchup's awkward, but okay. This is kind of an interesting one. They decided to take the damage. I could have Violent Outbursted and like just dealt extra damage here. That might have been the best line, but just then they go to 7, but then they know it's a double block. So yeah, we're gonna, let's see here. I'm just gonna pass. Like, I'm most likely gonna cycle this. I just want to be, you know, safe from Smasher right now. Mindstone? Okay, Mindstone's fine. Reshaper again? Wow. Yeah, Reshapers are really strong against us. They're essentially like Kitchen Finks versus regular Living End. Let's see here. I don't need to I could cycle End of turn to get a bunch in the graveyard. But then I die to Shaper plus Smasher, so I think I'm just gonna draw naturally here. Beast Wyvern? Okay, so we could have Beast Wyvern something. Beast Wyvern's interesting because it means I can kill the Smasher. Let's see here. Okay, we're gonna just attack and see what happens. Okay, so our opponent like wants to trade here. This is an interesting spot. Because this deals 5 damage, and then now I could like, if I don't think my opponent can kill me, I should Violent Outburst to do 4 plus free down to 7, and then Violent Outburst the Fairy Macabre for lethal. So I think we're gonna do that. We're gonna Violent Outburst, but not Cascade the card. 1 second. Let's do this with the Kalos from here, since making my opponent gain a life when it's this tight a race is incorrect. So 5, 6, 7. Yeah, okay. So we're gonna do Violent Outburst here. We're not gonna cast Living End. No. Right. So let's see what happens here. Dismember. Okay, Dismember is a dead card. Endbringer's also not going to do much against us right now. So now my opponent has to kill this Fairy Macabre, and they can't do it, really. They got free Reshapers, which is like one of the better cards in the matchup, but yeah. We got like double Beast Wyvern, which is super strong. Okay, so Fawnot's here. Fawnot's here doesn't, like, will stop us from killing our opponent. So there's no need to Street Rave. They have to take the Violent Outburst. Like, if they don't take Violent Outburst, they lose. Yeah. Yeah, so like that 1 life that I gave earlier, like you can see how it punished me. At this point, they have Smasher, but we're going to stay back with Wraith and we have Wyvern. So we can cycle this and try to get towards a state where it gets a little better. Okay, we can hard cast the Street Wraith too, if we need to. Yeah, I think the plan is to hard cast the Street Wraith. Like, the plan is either to hardcast a Street Wraith or have a Beast Wyvern for, like, anything. Actually, if they go... If my opponent goes, like, Eldrazi Temple, All is Dust, let's just play Catacombs and pass. Like, the Beast Wyvern, like, can give me an instant speed free. And I can also draw a card off killing the Fathnots here. If I feel that that's, like, the right line. If that was the right line, maybe I shouldn't play Catacombs, because... yeah. Yeah, okay, well, this is not getting the job done. Tapping out for this is basically us winning the game. Yeah, like... We can demonstrate an understanding of, like, yeah, how double blocking works if... There we go. Okay, so we won. It's actually shocking how many cards are relevant. 'Cause, like, if I go... If my opponent goes, like, Eldrazi Temple, All is Dust, let's just play Catacombs and pass. Like, the Beast Wyvern, like, can give me an instant speed free. And I can also draw a card off killing the Fathnots here. If I feel that that's, like, the right line. If that was the right line, maybe I shouldn't play Catacombs, because if I feel that that's the right line, maybe I shouldn't play Catacombs. Yeah, like... because they only have chalices and ballistas and maps. So they're also non-artifact creatures because Eldrazi are colorless. So Shriekmaw, Fulminator, and Ingachu are unreal. Yeah, Warping Well gets us good, but like yeah. In this matchup, you don't really want Macabres, but because Shriekmaw like can re-kill an Eldrazi that comes back. Architect is like the weakest one, so we can get rid of that. We can also get rid of at least a guide, especially on the draw. We can almost we can get rid of actually 2 guides. We have a lot more early interaction, so we're less reliant on like these Cinnamon Spirit guides. We can actually remove a full free, I think. We could keep like 1, but like this matchup's a little more cards post board. Well, we're gonna like the Fairy Macabres are good against what they're doing, but they're gonna like bring in relics and stuff, so we need them a little less, I think. And then we can cut a Beast Within because we don't have Macabres anymore, but they do play Chalice and stuff. We have so much good interaction. We can cut a Beast Within though, like Shriekmaw, Ingachu, and Fulminator. So we need one less Beast Within is fine, and they have creatures for Demonic Red. We could actually cut, I guess, a Demonic Dread or an Outburst from the list, since the games last a little longer. Let me see. Fairy Macabre removed in the graveyard can be key, but I'd rather like just like combine like a really big graveyard in one shot. Let's keep the last Beast Within, I guess. They have Thought Knots here for like Dread Outbursts, but we still have a lot of Cyclers and we have a lot of time, so I'll submit this. Yeah, so by the way, like this hand is okay, but having 2 living ends makes it a lot worse, and we only have 1 land, so I'm gonna mulligan this. I think we can do much better in this matchup anyways. This hand's kind of awkward, but we have to keep bottom. We have like lands at like we have part of the combo, so it's not so bad. Yeah, Relic, okay. So because they have Relic, we can't like blind cycle Street Wraith. And they have Chalice for 0. Okay, so this is okay. We can kind of beat this eventually. Let's just play Stomping Ground like this. Ingot Shooter is like the card we really want with Relic. Yeah. Because like Ingot Shooter would have killed Relic without like my opponent getting the card back, which is unreal. What is this? Chalice for 1? Oh, Ballista for 1. Okay, well that Ballista's a non-issue. Okay, so we have Ceradon and Street Wraith. Okay. We have some time. I don't need to like rush too much. So yeah, but I do like this is one of the disadvantages to playing less fetches and more fast lands is like these scenarios where like there's Relic, because like one of the best ways to counter like a non-sacked Relic is just yeah. Reshaper. Okay. I'm going to start cycling. Even though my opponent can exile a card, it would remain a Street Wraith. And I do need to like start going through my deck. Like to try to get an Ingot Chewer or something of the ilk. Losing 1 creature is not the end of the world. For sure my opponent should exile this. There's no drawback to doing so, so might as well. Yeah, that's fine. Right. We need to like draw into something of relevance. Outburst is not that. Horror is okay though. We can do like a mini living end here. If it wasn't for this Chalice. Chewer is great. Chewer allows us to kill the Chalice or the Relic, and the problem is like once we kill this Chalice, like our opponent's gonna keep Relic up, so it is kind of an issue here. Like what I need to do, because like my opponent has 2 Artifact K pieces. We have Beast Within still. Like I can't cast Living End at all through this. But the Relic is gonna be like. I think like I'm gonna kill the Relic because, like, if I can start stacking my graveyard, it's like I know I can't cast Living End, so that technically gives me less time. But if I can't like stack a graveyard and then my opponent can draw a card, that's not a good thing either. So we're just gonna kill the Relic here, And we're going to hope to draw into either another Chewer or one of our Beast Wivens. How many Beast Wivens do we have left? We left all of them, which is correct because they have multiple 8 pieces. Yeah. Yeah, so we have time. We're not taking too much damage here. Oh, we got the second Chewer. This is just like the nuts. Because like we can outburst during my opponent's turn, so that's actually great. We're going to cast with Evoke. We're going to do it during my opponent's turn, because if they have Warping Will, we can counter on their turn. Because that's the case. Yeah, Blackly Close is correct. Yeah, so we can... Evoking this Chewer. The Chewer was a great draw. It could have also been Beast Within, but the Chewer like gives us an extra free. Right. And we kind of want to do it at the end of turn, so that the Reshaper gets minimal amount of value. I might have mistapped my mana, though. We needed red mana anyways, but yeah, Ghost Quarter could technically wreck us off red. Yeah, I don't really care here about the damage. I'd rather like make sure we get everything dead. Yeah, so we're going to do Violent Outburst at the end of turn, and then if my opponent Warping Wills it, which there is a chance, then I can Demonic Dread. It's a lot less damage, but yeah, it's fine. So, 21 cards. They get the CR Sideboard plan. Okay, they don't have the Warping Will. That's extremely good for us. We get Chewers, but they're not going to do anything. So our opponent got Tower, which is like a land, so it's bad in that sense, but it's not the worst land. Right, Violent Outburst resolves. That's fine. Now we have Shriekmaw as well, if my opponent has any other card. We have Demonic Dread and Shriekmaw. Like, there's no way our opponent is going to win with this board in play. This matchup is really, really good. Because, like, normally Shriekmaw and Ingot Chewer are, like, for different matchups. But, like, in this one, it just happens to hit the same card, like, the same deck. And you can see, like, how you can fight, like, a Relic and a Chalice. You just need, like, either 2 Chewers or, like, Beast Within and Chewers, and you get there. Tron. Yeah. I mean, Living End is an okay deck. So this hand's a little more of a classic Living End hand. We don't have a way to Living End, but we have like infinite cycle, and we only have 1 land. But we have like 2 free cyclers and like a way and like a Simian Spirit Guide. So like this is like a super turbo hand. We could like almost Living End on turn 2 if we needed to. We probably won't, but like I might like Beast Within on turn 2 and then Living End on turn 3. Depending what my opponent's on. There's about like yeah. Let's just see what happens. Okay, they're on Storm, so this Fairy Macabre is never hitting the graveyard. This is never hitting the bin until like on a Living End. This is only going in the graveyard once I get rid of like cards that like once Past in Flames like wrecks my life. All right, so we're gonna cycle Street Ray first. Get that out of the way. Let's see here. I'm pretty convinced I'm going to cycle Horror of the Broken Lands. We might as well play Blackleaf Cliffs here, because we're going to play Blooming Marsh next turn. Right. But yeah, against Storm, like, speed is important, but like, Fairy Macabre is super good. Like, but it's not good because like you're getting, like, you're avoiding like a Living End being a problem. It's good because you get rid of a Past in Flames. Like, or like you can make it much worse. That's the important part. Like they could like pass and like if they only have like 1 ritual left, like you could just get rid of it and then like stop all these shenanigans. Most likely this is the fetchless version of Storm. Most people have played the fetchless version of Storm now without like Blood Moon and yeah. I think it's because they take less damage that way. I'm not actually. Somebody explained it to me and I can't remember. Okay, so Baral. Remand is the problem though. Remand from Storm is like a real issue. But yeah, let's just cycle Horror. Demonic Dread. Okay, so this is a little like. Let me think here, because like I could Beast Within this Baral now. That might actually be the best plan with Simian Spirit Guide. I really don't want this Baral kind of going nuts on me, so that's totally fine. Let's just get rid of this thing now. Get rid of it. I know it'll like come back later, but we can exile it if that's a concern. Like yeah, like this is not a card I want my opponent to have in play. Right, Serum Visions. My opponent's Serum Visions, and they. By the way, Natural Storm like without Past is top. Okay, with Grape Shot might be enough if I take too much damage. So I have to be a little careful. Right. Another Baral. Oh, they're gonna like just wait on Remand. Yeah. Nope. Oh no, Electromancer. Right, that makes more sense. Okay, so this is a little tougher because like they have a second one. Like my line, I have a few lines. I could just like accept that this Fairy Macabre is done as Graveyard Hate, and like Demonic Dread this turn, which would get back like Horror, Street Wraith. So that's like 9-ish damage. Yeah. Fairy Macabre is like so good against Past in Flames. But they top the card. Like I am really tempted to like remove this and Dread. Because he puts a clock and then we have Beast Withins on top. Yeah, let's just do that. While our opponent's tapped out, this just seems like the best line. Okay. As for the land, we're gonna get let's see. We might Beast Within later. I don't want to take like tons of damage, but I do want to cycle stuff. We have like double black, so most of our cycles are black, or we only need one green source. So I'm gonna get like a basic swamp, I think here. That would leave it. Yeah, I think that's fine. Right. Okay. So we're gonna Macabre and remove Baral and Serum Visions, and then we're gonna Demonic Dread this Electromancer. Two cards? Okay. Turns out, yeah. Okay, that resolves, so to speak. Okay. So now we have a super fast clock. At least the Carabid, like, while it's not dealing 4 damage, can at least do this. I'm just hoping my opponent just doesn't have another one of these things. We'll see, though. So here, we have Beast Within. So I'd rather, like, try to kill my opponent with cycling later. This is free 7-9. Like, I'd rather keep the Beast Within for like a really bad moment. Yeah, let's just keep the Beast Within to fight one of the mana creatures. They're probably gonna go Gifts Ungiven this turn. Yeah, let's just see what they get. If they get like 2 spells and 2 mana creature, like what they get here is really interesting. But yeah, you can like the hardest play this turn, like that game was like, do I Fairy Macabre or not? Like for sure, like I could have like not Demonic Dread and like waited another turn and then like try to catch them out. But I think there was correct to just play this and put a tiny bit more pressure. Okay, if they're tanking this hard on Gifts Ungiven, it means that they knew they were casting it, but they didn't know what they were going to get. Okay, so Past in Flames and Pyritic. I don't want to give them a mana creature, so they can have the other two. They could basically tutor like any 2 cards they wanted there. I'm pretty sure. Cause like, yeah, there's no chance of giving them one of these. Like right now, of course, yeah. Oh, they got another one in hand? That is daggersome. Like, we have Beast Within, so we're gonna have to cast it. Oh, Metamorphose? Okay, that's fine. I'm totally fine with them doing this. Because it means they're digging. Like, I don't want to Beast Within unless, like, I have to, because next turn we kill our opponent, like, Ritual? Okay. You're red. Right. Okay, are they going for, like, something natural here? Desperate. This is interesting. Are they going for Natural Storm? I mean, it's possible, but this is not very strong. Sure. I can't really stop most of this. Like, I guess they could have, like, cycled to try to hit a Macabre, but I don't think this is enough right now as stands, because we're at 14. I guess my opponent could, like, remand their Grape Shot. If they have, like, remand plus Grape Shot, this is brutal, actually. Oh, man. That's what they have? Remand Grape Shot? Ugh. It's pretty nuts that they're going to combo through, like, with no mana creature. They have 5, yeah. Sword count is 9, so they don't need that much to kill me. They have a Sleight of Hand, so they can up the storm to 10. If they have Grape Shot, plus... Yeah, they need, like, Grape Shot plus Remand here. But they used up a mana, so they actually need, like, another Ritual and Grape Shot and Remand. They might, like, Grape Shot to kill some stuff. Oh, Boral? Okay. Let's just see what happens here. I think my opponent's gonna, like, Grape Shot me, put me to, like, 2. And then I can Beast Within the Boral after the remand so that my opponent can't recast Gift Shot. Or they're gonna Gifts Ungiven? Okay, let me think here. Because if my opponent has... This is what, turn 5? So if my opponent has a mount, like an untapped land... They could just Grape Shot me. But then I could just put the Grape Shot in the bin. So I could put the Grape Shot in the bin and then they have 2 rituals. I could, like... Let's think. Let's think here. Can they, like... Because, like, they can get a Grape Shot. If they have, like... Red land. I mean, this is like expanding all their resources if I kill Boral. I have to think before because they have priority. Because if they go like Ritual for free, they go Ritual. If I put the Grape Shot in the bin and I give them like 2 rituals, they go Ritual for free, and then that's fine. Unless they have the other Grape Shot in hand, then this is bad. I think I'm just gonna Beast Within this now. Just to, like, prevent shenanigans. Like, because there's nothing my opponent can do from this position. They have no floating mana. So, like, they can, like, chump for the turn, and then, like, they're gonna die. So, it's okay. Because, yeah, they used up, like, so much to do this. So now their Passive Flames is not very good. Maybe this was wrong. Maybe this gave them a turn they shouldn't have, but... yeah. This was sword count 12. It could have been like 13 with the Grape Shot. I would have been like at 1, and 1 is okay. But then they could block and like... They just need to Grape Shot me for 1 at some point, so... Like, that's the other problem, is like the Boral is in place with blocks, so I might as well like prevent my opponent from doing it. That's like the ultimate logic, is like, no matter what I do, this Boral's gonna be in play unless I top deck another Demonic Tread. And even then, it's like the same. So, like, I might as well, like, just kill it here. Yeah, my opponent tried a Natural Storm. They weren't like that far off. It was like a pretty good attempt. This is kind of weird though. Like I haven't seen, like we had a really good hand. That's why we had a shot in this game. Like our hand was super good, and we had like multiple interaction pieces. And this is why like I don't understand people cutting Beast Within. Is like you have so many games like this where like it's your only interaction piece and it's so efficient at what it does. Like yeah, it's also like why I don't think you can cut Guide or Within. You just need these cards to like catch up because otherwise you operate from turn 3. And like being able to operate from turn 2 is sometimes like critical. Like we were on the draw this game, so you know, like yeah, we were on the draw, so like yeah. Okay, so let me think here. They can't cast any of these cards. The Great Shot, like, they can get back eventually, and I don't want to give them, like, the two doses of the same rituals. So, what do you think? Like, they could. I don't want them to go twice ritual. I could, like, get rid of the Manamorphose, which is a card. Let's get rid of the most mana. Yeah. Let's just get rid of mana. So they have, yeah, they had the red land. That was a good call. Well, you can't Grape Shots. You might as well, like, tap this. Right, exactly. Okay. So this is our turn. Now, okay, now we have Fairy Macabre. And that kind of, like, locks our opponent totally out of the game. Because, like, there's nothing my opponent can do from this position. Let's see here. Our opponent could, like, also not block. So it's a very unlikely scenario. But, like, it cycling means I can't, like, cast the cards. So there's no point in not attacking here. Yeah, okay. Right, so this is fine. And then we have another Beast Within and a Fairy Macabre in case things go wrong. Manamorphose is fine. Basically, I want to get this before they can cast that Past in Flames. So, yeah. 2. They still, the Grape Shot in their hand is actually risky because of Remand again, but yeah. 4 of their mana creatures are in the bin. I'm just hoping they don't get like a 5th, 6th, like one of the other 4. They have gone through half their deck, so yeah. I don't think they can play around it ever. Red Black Pirates? No, I haven't seen it. Okay, so this is what? 4 mana for what gifts? Empty? They play main deck empty? Okay, well, I guess this kind of works. Wasn't really expecting it, to be honest. Okay, well, let's just let this empty resolve. That gives them... Okay, so now we can just cycle this. I know it, like, pumps this guy, but, like, he's clearly not getting fruit for damage anymore, so we might as well just cycle these and, like, try to draw some more relevant cards. Horror, yeah, we might as well cycle this. Care of it, okay. Right, that was... Okay, we drew our 4th Beast Within. That is insanely lucky. Like, we have 4 Beasts Within, like, yeah. For that's 3 cards, including Grape Shot. I don't like this one. So let's attack here. It's gonna take a while to get through. It's okay though. Like, my opponent can block twice. Yeah, okay, I see what's going on here. I think we might Beast Within our own land if we can. If, like, that luxury is afforded to us. Let me think. I don't want to really exile the Past in Flames until it's necessary, so I'm just gonna, like, untap, let my opponent untap. This is Living End. So you basically play a bunch of cards that go in the graveyard for very little mana, like 1 or 0, and then you play a spell that does nothing except get your card that swaps graveyard and play creatures. Let's see. My opponent probably has a Remand here, but I still want to, like, kill one of my Cliffs here, like, as an attempt. Because this is lethal if my opponent doesn't remand. So it removes like Grape Shot remand a little bit from the tree of possibilities. I could also like cycle to I could cycle once to try to get a Violent Outburst here. Or Demonic Dread. Either would do the trick if my opponent doesn't have another remand. If they do, they do. Blooming Marsh? Okay. Well, let's just kill these goblins, get rid of them for good. Yeah. Yeah. Sure. Okay, now it's all about interacting with opponent's deck, so yeah. Let's just do this and pass. I could like Beast Within one of my opponent's cards, but I think like my best shot is to Beast Within their mana creature if they top deck it. Okay, gifts. We're gonna have to let this resolve anyways. We're not gonna destroy a land, so I'm gonna let this resolve. So my opponent's probably gonna get like whatever they feel is relevant. I could also, there's only 2 Past in Flames in more Stone lists, so I could also like if they get Past in Flames here, get rid of both Past, and that like kind of locks the game out. Let's see. Okay, they're getting like more rituals or more. These are, I think, their last mana creatures in most versions. I could give them both mana creatures as an option. That's super dangerous though if they draw another Past. So I'm gonna just give them neither and let them Natural Storm if they want. Okay, so they're gonna Desperate Ritual here. Let me think what this does if they Desperate. They go to free. They can then Past in Flames. Let's just remove Past and Empty. No, Empty is no longer relevant. Let's remove Past and Remand. Because I don't want like my opponent's Grape Shot to work. So like Remand is like a double Grape Shot. So yeah, let's just remove those. But you can see like the advantage of the fetchless base. My opponent took like no damage from their lands. So they, like in a normal game, like if they played like the fetch version, they'd be at 0. But yeah, the Fairy Macabre was good enough here. I was pretty sure like them just casting Pass was probably not going to happen. Okay. So against them, Ricochet Trap stops Remand from working, but that's about it. That's the problem, is it doesn't really do much. Normally Stormbow's in like, yeah, they wanted like Echoing Truth and stuff like that, and Pieces and Empty. This matchup is horrific in general, so the Fulminators are okay because they still play like a lot of non-basics because they don't have fetches. The Fairies are important. We can like remove a guy. Actually, we're on the draw. We can't remove a single guy. I can remove the Architects. We can remove a Demonic Dread. I probably want like 1 or 2 Ricochet Traps, but not more. I also might want Shriek Maw or 1 or 2, just to get rid of that like Mana Dork creature. We can remove a Beast Within. But yeah, what do I lose here? The problem is like when I board these cards in, yeah. Fulminator. Killing their lands is actually one of the best ways to counter their piece of the puzzle plan because they're like going to be land short. If I board in Shriek Maws, I can cut like 1 of the Beast Withins. And then I have to cut some Cyclers. Yeah, it's starting to get harrowing. Like, I will cut one of these guides on the play. I guess on the draw I can cut a land. I can cut one of the basic swamps. Okay, so Ricochet Trap only really works against Remand. That's the problem. I'm gonna have like 1, but I don't really like the card. Maybe 0 is the right amount. They only have like a few Remands. And it's not like Echoing Truth is maybe like a card I want to change the target to, but like to what, right? So I think this is fine. So like we have answers to their creatures, and then maybe I need like I don't know how they're gonna sideboard. That's the main problem. I'll skip this song. Like I don't know how they're gonna sideboard. Black red aggro, by the way. Like I just saw your list. Your mana base is gonna be your biggest issue with this deck. You really need I think you need Aether Hub. Or like some kind of energy. Yeah, because like the mana is gonna be like your biggest problem with that deck. By far. Anyways. So like double Street Wraith with no lands is sometimes okay, but like double Living End is definitely not okay, so we're gonna mulligan. We have like interaction for Graveyard for fast start, and we have some Carabid, so we're gonna keep. Forest is not what we're looking for. Yeah. By the way, some versions of Living End play Leyline of the Void. I think that's taking like pretty precious sideboard space, so I didn't really like it. We're gonna pay some life for this. I would rather pay 2 life than give my opponent life in this matchup. But yeah, the fast starts with Baral normally involve Past in Flames. We have some interaction for that. They don't have it right now. Cool. They might also empty the Warrens at some point, so we have to be just wary of that. Because like empty the Warrens like usually comes after Living End. Okay, Beast Within, Ceradon. Okay, I can just pass here. Steam Vents. So I was wrong. They are playing fetches, which means that they have Blood Moon in their deck. This is the first time I saw the Scalding Tarn, though, so they probably have Blood Moon post board. And we have no way to deal with it except for Beast Within, so I have to be very careful. This is like basically gold now, because I missed a sign. Like, we saw a ton of their cards and we saw no fetches. So, yeah. Let's cycle this with... We're going to cycle 2 cards at least, so we can give them 1 life at a time. I'm not sure what their interaction would be yet, but yeah. We can cycle this. My opponent could also Gifts Ungiven in response to like a Living End and gets like 2 mana creatures potentially, like some like either way, like in their hand or in the graveyard. So horror. Okay, we're gonna need to hit a land drop, so I'm gonna have to cycle now. Which means we're like low, like we're left with Fairy Macabre defense, which is not very good, of course. My opponent's tanking a lot. This is kind of weird. He's like, Storm doesn't usually have tons of interaction to tank here, but... yeah. Okay, we got a Blooming Marsh, which is good. We're gonna just play the Blooming Marsh and pass. Yeah. Yeah, our opponent's better off like responding to what we're doing and like going off in a single turn rather than trying to like force through their creatures. I'm pretty sure, at least. Okay. So I could Outburst here. I don't think there's a need though. Their plan is probably to like make a mana creature with like Remand backup. Yeah, so this is going to resolve, but I might have to think about like if I'm gonna Fairy Macabre stuff or not. And I might also Violent Outburst. Because this is like a good turn to do it. If my opponent like empties, then this is awkward, of course. Well, let's see what they gifts on given first and like make a judgment call. Our opponent clearly knows we have stuff to do, so this isn't like going to be a mystery or a surprise, but yeah. I think that's the nicest part about Living End is like when you tap out, you could easily like get hit by like all these instant speed spells. But yeah. What am my bones getting? Like, because yeah, we have like. Okay, so they're getting like a value gift, okay. They're getting a value gift. I don't want to give them pieces or metamorphos because those cards are kind of like neutral. So we're gonna give them Serum Visions and Slight, and I'm going to Violent Outburst these back. Those cards allow them to dig, but it's okay. Right, so we're gonna Violent Outburst here. I'm not gonna do the Fairy Macabre since we have more than enough pressure here. But yeah, this is like the strength of Living End is like they could have counter magic, but if they have to tap out for some big spell, you can just respond by doing something like this. Okay, that was like the 12th card. What did they see? They saw Fairy Macabre. They saw Fulminator. I think seeing Fulminator is like a pretty big tell. Yeah. And they have fetch lands, so like Fulminator is gonna be a little worse. I kind of liked it because like Fulminator is a natural counter to their Pieces of the Puzzle technology. I mean, this is like a lot of damage, so they need to like do something. They might have Echoing Truth. If they have it, they have it. Like, Echoing Truth would be annoying, but not like the end of the world. Like, it's basically like our post-Living End removal spell, so it's kind of nice in that sense. If they have Empty, we're still okay. It gives them like a ton of time, which is the main problem. So what do they do with Serum Visions? They bought them both? Okay, sure. They're digging for something specific here. Like right now, this is like 12 damage. If they Echoing Truth the Desert Ceradons. Otherwise, I mean, it's lethal. Otherwise, they don't have Empty. Empty's like an okay plan, because like I'm forced to like get back the creatures first, and then like you can like empty some goblins. It's a bad plan like to win, but it's a good plan to like stall and buy time. Yeah, like if you go Ritual, Empty here, yeah, that's what my opponent's gonna do is like Ritual, Empty. If they go Ritual, Pass though, like we get a really strong counterplay with this Fairy Macabre. Metamorphose is bad for us here, because like it's like a card and like a ritual, so I don't like it here for us. Let's see what happens. Based on what they've done, I think they don't have many of the creatures left in their deck. They're playing the creatureless sideboard plan. Like they have like one Baral maybe. So I'm gonna take that into account. Oh, they have Baral still? Okay. Well, we can't interact with Baral. So now Desperate, and my opponent's gonna pass, and they have like a lot of cards in the graveyard. I might take out both Metamorphoses here, since my opponent has a lot of red mana, but they don't have ways to generate blue. I mean, they could play an island. That would be awkward for pieces or gifts. I mean, if they don't have pass, then this Fairy Macabre is gonna be great. Okay, Grape Shot me. Oh, they're gonna Grape Shot like the horrors and stuff. Oh wow, yeah, that's not gonna help you. Alright, let's just see what happens here. Because I can Fairy Macabre like for free. So I just need to understand like where the damage is going. Yeah. If my opponent's doing like a value Grape Shot, then I could Fairy Macabre. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So that's gonna be 6, 10, 14. I'm gonna be 1 short unless I'm mistaken, but at least I can but like my opponent would be forced to chump block. So let's exile the rituals that draw cards. If my opponent's forced to block with Baral, right? Because this is like 6, 10, 14, and then this could be lethal. So my opponent might be forced to block. Unless we get a free cycler, then we win. Okay. So like I could get rid of my opponent's mana, or I could get rid of my opponent's metamorphoses. Like I could get rid of their cards with metamorphose or their rituals. With a mana creature, like these metamorphoses start generating problems. I think I'm gonna get rid of both rituals here. It pumps my horror. It makes, yeah. Right, so my horror's gonna survive. My Ceradon's gonna die. Wait, my opponent still has 4 red? Ooh, I did not take this into account. I might die here. I forgot my opponent had untapped mana. So like now they can metamorphose. Oh, that was bad. Now they win. Yeah. If they have Past in Flames in their hand, they win. Because they can do it for free. Like I could have like, had I realized, I probably would have like removed the Grape Shot or both metamorphoses, one or the other. You should definitely Past in Flames this turn if you have it, dude. Like there's no way it's gonna get better for you. So, if my opponent doesn't pass this turn, they don't have it. If they have empty, this is super awkward. Okay, they don't have either. That's pretty fortunate for us. Okay, we have a Street Wraith here, so that should be lethal. Because it pumps this for free. And then we can cycle the Horror and Demonic Dread. Because this is like 10, 20 already, and then we cycle the Horror and the Demonic Dread gets us there. I don't know what my opponent's tanking on. They seem to like be tanking every turn when they had 0 mana up. I don't know if it's like because they don't want to have 6 or they have some effect I don't know of. Let's cycle Carabid, and then we have those for Demonic Red. Okay, yeah, sure. Right, so 8, 14. So this is 10, 22, okay. Yeah, so you get like the secondary use of Demonic Dread here on Showcase. Like my opponent can't block with their creature. There we go, 2-0. Excellent, excellent. We beat like what is one of our most horrific matchups in Storm. 2-0 as well. Yeah. I mean, we faced Chalice Relic and we faced Storm and we were still like unfazed. That's pretty good. Oh, this hand. We're on the play. The 4th land is super bad here. Like really, really bad. We have some interaction and we have like 9 power, so it's okay to keep. But this hand could go wrong very fast. I'm gonna probably cycle Street Wraith turn 1. Just to see if I have to take 2 damage from this, because I don't really want to. Let's play Stomping Ground tapped here. Like our hand is like pretty slow, so like is pretty light on things, so I don't need to like take more random damage. The Verdant Catacombs would have given me the option, kind of, but like we have 2 Blooming Marshes, so I can only choose 1 land to come into play tapped. Okay, we're against Burn. Okay, that was like super important. What we just did there was critical, like not taking extra damage. Architects of Will is pretty good though, so yeah, we're gonna have to like draw into a Beast Women super fast. This matchup can be hard. Like our sideboard is a little less adapted for it, so yeah. Right, I love the Great Revel. That's fine. We're gonna like just cycle stuff, so not a problem. Right, let's just cycle. We cycle Ceradon first because we want to make sure we have the highest possible power if we like draw into horror. Right, there we go. Violent Outburst. This deals us a ton of damage because of this Eidolon. So my plan here is going to be to Beast Within this Eidolon to take a little less damage. I could also actually, how much damage is this? Free. This is already 13. And we would, the problem is we would take like 4 from this Eidolon, go to 12, and then like we're in real like risk. If I like Beast Within, I could also like Violent Outburst, and it's like the same damage taken, but yeah. I think I'm gonna Violent Outburst because then our opponent like has to do stuff pre-combat. Yeah, and it gives me the option to Beast Within, like if my opponent plays a second Eidolon or something here. Or like respond to the second Eidolon. My opponent just attacks, it gets harder. I mean, they have to do stuff, like... They might be happy with just doing this. Do they really want a Searing Blaze? Because like next turn, I get like an additional point of power. My opponent could also like have a Boros Charm here. So there's that. But Architects of Will, this is actually pretty tough. Boros Charm doesn't like prevent this Living End from working. I don't want to take too much damage here. Taking damage is really bad, especially like a multiple of 3. But like if I Beast Within, I go to 13 and 1 Boros Charm is enough, and my opponent would probably cast another spell. So I'm just gonna like Violent Outburst here. Which is going to deal me like quite a bit of damage, but it's okay. Their hand is probably stacked if they decide they can just attack and deal that damage though. Okay. So we take some damage here. It's not very efficient though for our opponent to deal with our creatures, so that's kind of nice. Oh, we have the Swamp for Architect. Yeah, but we're like at a multiple of 3. So if our opponent's hand is like not like just a bunch of spikes and bolts and stuff, then we lose. Yeah. Yeah, the Eidolon is not very good for us for that reason. Like, a spike. Yeah, we're gonna be like if my opponent's hand is like a bunch of expensive spells, it's maybe okay. But yeah, here, this is like 6, 10, 13. If I hit like 1 more Cycler, I might actually just get there natural. So let's just cycle this first and see what happens. Could also like, I could have also hit like a Violent Outburst, I guess. So this is 15. If I hit another Cycler, this is good. Okay. Well, look, we'll check no blockers, and then I'm going to cycle a second card. This is actually kind of tough, because if they have Lightning Helix, they can prevent me from going for lethal, and then if they have a creature, this is bad. So I probably shouldn't have attacked with everything here. I think it's worth it, because like, if I hit like 2 Cyclers, I also get there. We hit the Violent Outburst a little late, sadly. So here we're like kind of dead to like anything. Yeah, our opponent's at 2. We needed to like hit another Cycler. I don't think they had Lava Spike. So now they can just like fetch a Mountain too. The Violent Outburst would have been like perfect on the last draw because we would have been able to just Outburst. But yeah, drawing the blank was bad. Yeah, so Boros Charm us. Yeah, Boros Charm is bad if they have literal Goblin Guy plus attacker. I think what I should have done is cycled pre-combat. So like I knew what the state of affairs was. And then I could have made the decision to go like, okay, what are the odds? And then like, is Beast Within better? Like against a creature if they have literal Boros Charm. Being at 5 means that like any creature plus any burnt spell finishes me. But oh wow, my opponent had a horrible hand. They probably had like a bunch of 2-mana spells. So I got I got insanely lucky there. Brindle Bowlers are obviously the card we want. Macabres are not that great against them. They are a free cycler, but they're not that important. I prefer Shriek Maws since they're 5 mana, so when you cast them, you don't take any damage and it kills Eidolon. And then it comes back and it kills Eidolon. We're on the draw, so Guide's good, but Beast Within is really bad against them. They have like Rest in Peace sometimes, so we have to keep free. But yeah, Beast Within is like one of the worst possible cards against them. We might want to attack their mana on the play, but not on the draw. So yeah, board them up is good. Okay, so the only problem I have is I know they're going to board in like 2 Rest in Peace, and that card is super brutal to beat without Beast Within. Like, not really possible. So like I could lose like an Architect of Will and keep a 4th Beast Within, which is risky. Because like the free they get is not free. Like, it's far from free. And like when they're a burn deck and trying to top deck, Architects of Will is great. Trap is 4 mana Lightning Helix, because you get to redirect. I think I'm okay with it on the draw. I don't like it on the play. Sorry, I don't like it on the draw. Like on the draw, they have less spells, but like you're not as likely to have like 4 mana up. We're on the draw as well. They're gonna board in paths. I could like board out a swamp for a Beast Within. We really need to hit our land drops though. Like, I'm not a fan of like cutting a land. We flooded a bit, but yeah. I think because of Rest in Peace, I have to keep Beast Within, but I don't like it at all. Maybe Free's okay. They only play like 2 Rest in Peace. And we can beat Rip by just casting our spells rather than like our big creatures. Okay, let's just do this. Well, this is a mulligan. Actually, I say that. The basic swamp makes it a mulligan. If we had like a dual land, I would keep. Because we have like the green-red ones, plus, yeah. This hand can't be good. I could have... Oh, I should have boarded out a Street Wraith. I'm being silly. We're against Burn. Street Wraith is very bad. That's the card I should have boarded out. Okay. Yeah. Like, this is a lot of pressure, but, like, we need to draw, like, lands and something. And, like, the right lands, like... If this was a duel, I would be more up for this hand. But this hand is, like, really weak to, like, a path. I got a mulligan. I think, like, this is too risky. This is fine, though. We have the Brindlevore, which is much higher equity, and we have more cyclers and a scry. Yeah, so bottom... This hand has, like, much higher equity, I think, than the previous one. Guide? Okay. Jesus Christ. The literal worst card to draw on the whole deck. Okay, let's see. I guess I'll let them attack. That's slightly better. Right. Lava Spike. Lava Spike. Okay. Yeah, this Brindle War is going to be really important. Okay, Verdant Catacomb. Perfect. Cycle Horror. Ceradon. Okay. We're gonna need a red sword. We're gonna need a Stomping Ground, but I'm not gonna like spend free life for it. So, I think I should cycle this now. Guide is interesting. Guide would have been like amazing to have drawn that turn because we could have like done something. I think I'm gonna pass. Then I'm gonna play like get a Stomping Ground. Yep. Free back-to-back Living Ends. Okay, Simian Spirit Guide. Simian Spirit Guide number 2. Not really that necessary compared to the first one. That would have been great earlier. Double Riftbolt, okay. So, like one thing I could do is exile this guide to draw the guide on top. And then I can fetch a Stomping Ground, so that gets me one more creature in the bin. Which I think is like right, because like we don't really... Like I might as well do this now, because I want the guide but I need a Stomping Ground, so yeah. So... yeah, do this. Draw the Spirit Guy, sack for Stomping Ground. Definitely not paying 2 life for that. Drawing the second swamp is okay because you have Demonic Dread. So like, I'm gonna play Brindleborn here, and we're gonna gain some life now while there's no Skullcrack possibility or anything else. So this puts us to 5. We're gonna potentially lose here. There's nothing I can do though. Like my opponent's Goblin Guy was really fast. Like I can't like Living End. I might as well like do this. Yeah. I am probably just dead, just for what it's worth. If I had drawn the guide a turn earlier, I would have been fine though, I guess. Like, because like the guide a turn earlier would have allowed me to Brindleborn on turn 3. Yeah, because like, yeah. I was on the draw. No, it would allow me to Brindleborn on turn 2. Beast Within? Okay, well that's not helping. I mean, I'm still alive if like my opponent doesn't have a burn spell. Which is not that likely, but... okay. Well... I have to do this. Let's see. I could do, like, Guide for Ceradon and then Dredge. I think that's better. I could also... my opponent has 2 fetch lands, so there's not much of a point of me, like, going for, like, an Architects of Will here. One second. I say these things, but I should check. 4, 8... 14... yeah, this is lethal if I do this properly, so... I'm dead to Skullcrack anyway, so I should have kept Boar for blocking. You are absolutely correct. I just lost 2 life for no reason. Good call. The only reason, like, the only thing where it would have been good to do it is if like, I'm playing around Searing Blaze. Which is a possibility, because they know they can always enact the Searing Blaze. So it's not, like, unlikely that my opponent's kept in Searing Blaze. Like, it's not that bad against me, because you know you can use it at some point. Unlike other matchups where, like, it might be worse. So I think here I have to cycle the Ceradon and then Demonic Dread. But I don't want my opponent to burn their only Goblin Guide. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to Demonic Dread this, holding priority. I'm going to cycle Ceradon. Right. So that way this is like cast. Right, now we're going to cycle this. This is like a way to, yeah. Yeah, I lose to Skullcrack anyways. It's like what you would not want to lose to, basically. Living End. If they have lethal, then they're right to wait here. Right, we're going to just sack this now. I'm not going to wait longer. There we go, we're at 7. That's a very healthy life total. And now we have a Demonic Dread in case our opponent has a blocker. Yeah. But yeah, we want to like do that in that order, by the way, so we don't like. Because imagine our opponent like decides I'm gonna like Searing I don't think they have Searing Blaze, but like imagine they have Path and they decide to path their own Goblin Guide, and then like okay, well I lose. Like I think like my opponent should have pathed their own Goblin Guide if that was the card in their hand, because like it plays around Demonic Dread. Like if my opponent paths one of these creatures, they were wrong. They should have pathed this Goblin Guide. Because, like, it was higher equity for them to beat, like, to win through, like, me having Demonic Dread than, like, this Brindleborn coming back. Like, their path is, yeah. This is a ton of damage. They're at 18, so unless they have path Lightning Helix, they're dead. I mean, there could be, like, some hybrid cards, like Creature, Lightning Helix. Lightning Helix or 2 creatures. Like, there's a lot of things, but, like, 2 creatures, they're dead, like, overall, because they have to block twice. Yeah. It's just like, do you play around Searing Blaze or do you play around Skullcrack? They're for sure keeping all their Skullcracks in, so maybe it's better to play around, not play around Skullcrack. Sorry, not play around Searing Blaze. It's close, though. We got really lucky this game. I'm not going to lie to you. We can just attack here and just see what happens. My opponent could, like, double Helix one of these creatures, but I don't really care. That's fine. This is okay. Yeah, by the way, this Brindle War has been, like, the nut. Is this Searing Blaze? Bingo. So currently this is still lethal. 12, 16, 20, yeah. So we play around Searing Blaze that way. Okay. Cycle this. Cycle this. That should do the trick. That's like 8 extra damage. And they're trying to prevent 6. I could even Street Wraith. I'm not going to Street Wraith. It's pretty insulting. I should have boarded those out. Let me see. This is 6. This is 16, 22. Yeah, they're dead. Yeah. We're good. We're good. We're good. But yeah. So it turns out that sacking the Brindleborn might have won that game because we didn't get Searing Blazed. It's like a play I remember from playing Valakut against the burn decks is like, I mean pre-board, but like unlike Valakut, they're gonna keep the Searing Blazes for post-board games. So like, why lose to that card anyways? Like the thing though is like we would lose to Searing Blaze, but then we lose to every other burn spell, so it was still correct to block, to plan to block. Like it turned out like it was great for us because we won the game as a result. But the right play there was actually to block because we're giving our opponent 2 extra damage, so any lightning bolt-ish effect, which they have like a ton in their deck, wins. And by blocking, like basically, if we like don't sack, we lose to Searing Blaze, and if we sack, we lose to like every other burn spell in their deck. So like Skullcrack kills us either way, but like all the other ones don't. So like for sure it was correct to like plan a block. We just got super lucky and won. I think that game was like a perfect example of like you can play badly and like win, but like don't take that as like that was the right play. Like that was the wrong play. The person that remarked that I should have blocked was correct. It just ended up that like my opponent's exact last card was Searing Blaze. So like, and I thought about playing around it, but it was wrong because like I lose to every other burn spell. So yeah, like I played that like horribly and I got like rewarded like insanely. Like it was unreal how much I got rewarded. But yeah, please, like, I think what's important is like to realize when you make these things, like, and that makes you a better player. Like, it's totally fine to make mistakes, and it's totally fine to win because you took a line that was wrong. I think what's wrong, like, what's awful is when you think that was right because you won the game. That's when you're incorrect. Like, you should definitely, like, consider the implications and everything, and, like, you know, yeah, it's not because you won the game that your play was correct. My play there was wrong, but yeah. Okay. So far, this Living Index performed pretty well. We got really lucky against Burn, though. Like, there was a turn where they could have easily killed us, and they didn't. Like in Game 1 and in Game 2, like, we played badly, but we played around the one card they had. Two and a half minutes in the queue. That's insane. It also turns out like my other version of Living Ends that I was willing to test has Blood Sun. And I was like maybe looking forward to playing it, but Blood Sun would have been awful in most of those matches. Against Burn it would have been okay because it disabled the fetch lands. And I guess Eldrazi Tron just wouldn't have done anything, so. Whoa, okay. One sec. My screen just decided to refresh for some reason. Okay. Let me just re-add the webcam. My streaming software like seems to have frozen. Okay. Can someone in chat verify with me that like the stream is still up? Like just like it might look glitched or something, but is the stream still up? Okay, I'm good. Right. Okay. So there seems to be a glitch with my software. So like yeah, is like the webcam in the right place? Like, has it moved? Is like my face moving and stuff? Well, I guess you can hear my voice, but yeah. Because like for me, like from my side, my screen just refreshed and it just froze my program. So yeah, give me a second to just check what's happened. I appreciate though the feedback, like that you think it's good. So like it probably is. I just okay. The webcam is like way off. Yeah, that's not cool. Okay. I don't like this. I'm not sure how I can... Yeah, I can see it. Yeah. Okay, I don't want this. This isn't good for you. This blocks cards. Oh my god. This has happened before. The screen is really awkward. But like, okay, there we go. Thank you. Don't need that info. Let's see a little more of my face. Okay, right. So, our hand. We have a living end, which is obviously horrible. I think we're going to mulligan this because we have no cyclers. We have, like, living end, and we have a beast within, but we only have a fairy macabre. So, like, this hand is, like, pretty mana heavy and, like, action light. So we're going to mulligan this hand. This hand is awkward. It's very powerful, but like no mana, so we have to mulligan. We can keep this. It's very awkward though. Grove is fine. We need to draw lands anyways. Oh wow, if we're against Storm, these Fairy Macabres would be insane. If we're against like a control deck, this is super bad for us though. By the way, going Blood Crypt untap pass might make our opponent not play their mana creature out, which would be really appreciated. Okay, they're on control. This is bad. Control is like definitely a deck you can beat game one, like Jeskai control, because they have so few hard counters, but not in this state. Beast Within helps a lot though. The problem with Beast Within in this type of matchup is like it's only good if like I'm like literally hitting their land off a counter. Opt, okay. They insta-bottomed, okay. They need a land. No one's like... Yeah, Sulfur Falls, okay. Yeah, they're on Jeskai control. I think the Grove is going to be a big telltale sign of what... Oh, wait, I cycled the Horde. They know what I'm on. Okay, let's just pass. Yeah, of course. Like, without Fulminator, these matchups can be rough. We have 4 in the board, though, so it's okay. And, like, also, they only have so many counterspells main deck. Pre-board, they have, like... is this Blue Moon or something? Oh, my god. Let me see here. This is not going to get much better than, like, denying, like, opt value. So, let's just do this. Let's just deny that sweet, sweet opt value. They're also, like, on a bluish control deck, which is annoying. Yeah, because this is like Cryptic Command land. Now they're going to just like attack us a bunch. Our plan is going to be to fill our graveyard to start. And then we can hopefully Beast Within a key land at some point. Guide is not the draw I wanted. We also don't have like a way to Living End here. So yeah. You are Breach? Yeah, it could be. If they like go for Breach here... I'll accept that I lose to Breach. I don't think I can like beat that card right now. I don't think I'll be able to beat it later either. That's why I'll just accept to lose to it. Serum Visions. They normally play like Romance and stuff. So yeah, this matchup is like hyper rough. Top? Okay. This is like one of the roughest possible matches. I could Beast Within, but like that gives my opponent a free. Also, we're not like living ending next turn, so I think Macabre is okay. Casting Hill Giant. It's not. Oh, you mean like? Well, this is Grey Ogre. Yeah, Grey Ogre is not fine. I would rather like be able to double spell at some point later in the game because we're not taking. Okay, our opponent. Oh my god, really? I mean, I'm gonna suspend this. One of our best ways to win against this deck is to just suspend a Living End and cast 2 in a turn. We're gonna die. We're gonna die to Breach anyways. It's not like I can interact with that combo, so whatever. My opponent goes Bolt, Snap, Bolt. We're gonna definitely Fairy Macabre the Bolt. Right. Snapcaster beats. Okay. Yeah, we're gonna probably Beast Within one of our lands at some point to just block because our opponent would have definitely bolted if they had it. So like this tells me they don't have Lightning Bolt. They probably have like some counter magic though. Lighthouse is awkward. I mean, this matchup's super rough, especially pre-board without Fulminators. Okay, this is coming off. Demonic Dread. I could like. There's no real point in attempting this. I'm gonna like just force the action at the end of their turn. Right. So killing one of my lands is like then not low, but. My suspicion is my opponent's going to let me do this. So it's okay. They didn't loot at the end of the turn? Oh, I guess because I could Violent Outburst. So that means like... They're at 5 mana? Okay, yeah, that doesn't really mean anything. They could have Remand or Cryptic. If they had like... Yeah, okay, so now can I block? Or did I just LD myself for no value? What is this? Cryptic Bounce? Bounce. Okay, they have Remand as well. There's no way they would do this play if they didn't have Remand as well. So yeah, that's kind of unfortunate. We're gonna die. I'm not gonna like go for the motions. Right, so we definitely want Fulminators. And we want Ricochet Traps. These are great. Macabres are okay, but yeah, and these games are long, so we don't need so many guides. Beast Within, like, giving them the free when they have counter magic up is not a great plan. And we can cut like 1 because we have a Fulminator Mage. I think the LD's plan is fine. Let's just not go overboard. Dread is also a little less good. We want to kind of just shave some cards. I think Macabre like counters like Snapcaster Mage for free. That's kind of nice. And like the flyer is not irrelevant. It just doesn't draw a card, which is a problem. Yeah, I think like the Architect is better, and then like what else do I board out? We want all the Cyclers, I think. Yeah, we want all the Cyclers. So I have to remove a Macabre or a Guide. I think we can remove a Guide. The matchups are slow. I don't want to draw too many Guides. I think that's a way to lose the match. Okay, so we have our typical Living End. It's all good. Like, yeah. We don't have green mana, and we only have 1 Cycler. I think I'll still keep this, but it's on the marginal side of set of hands. Like, we don't have, like, Ricochet Trap and stuff. We can counter, like, a value Snapcaster Mage and... yeah. This hand is pretty mediocre. Maybe I should have thrown this back. But we have, like... If we draw, like, a green source, we can Beast Within their land. That's okay. Any Cycler is great this turn. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna, like, just, like, use the Blackleaf Cliffs this turn. I could like get a fetch land, I guess, like off the Street Wraith, and that'll encourage me to play the fetch land. We also have the basic swamp, which is good if they have Blood Moon, which they might. Opponent's tanking long on this one. Yeah, this hand is marginal. Like the Living End isn't like totally dead. Like the suspend play is like fine, but yeah, it's not the card you want in your opener for sure. Okay. I could cycle now. Our opponent probably isn't not playing Relic. Like, if we get a Verdant Catacomb, I just want to be able to, like, fetch with it. It's possible this is wrong, though. Like, I'm saying my opponent doesn't have Relic, they could. Outburst? Okay, Outburst is, like, okay, but we clearly didn't want that. We wanted to draw, like... If we wanted to draw a card we couldn't cast, I would have rather had Fulminator. I'm gonna skip this. Because they're gonna start singing soon. Oh, they were going to. Okay, the Verdant was there. Sure. I don't think 5 damage is enough pressure. That's not going to be enough against our opponent. They could easily like play for it. I gotta get a basic forest with this Catacomb. It's worth noting. That way Blood Moon is not an issue. Because they probably boarded it in. I don't know why they're tanking so long. Like, their game 1 was very fast. Blood Sun? I think Blood Sun is good, but I was gonna try a version of Living End with Blood Sun. If my opponent's playing this slowly, I may not, because then it's gonna get really late here. But if they're not, then like I might play the Blood Sun version. Like I'll definitely like showcase the deck. I may not. I don't know if I'll run it or not, but like I'll definitely showcase it. It just depends how fast these 2 next matches go. Like if my opponent's gonna like tank for 5 hours after like I pass priority on my main, then like yeah, this might take a while. Island. Okay, they're definitely Blood Mooning us later. Let's just get a forest to get it out of our deck. Because I don't want to draw it. The problem with getting the forest is it kind of tough. They're still going to Blood Moon though, even if we get a forest. Blood Crypt. Let's just play the Swamp and give ourselves the option of Beast Within. Although there's a super low chance I'm going to do it. Hey, how's it going? Yeah. I could like Beast Within on Island on upkeep. That might actually be okay. I don't really care about the Blood Moon, so... Actually, Beast Within on a land on upkeep sounds pretty enticing. The problem is like we're then going to start taking hits, which I do not like. My favorite modern deck so far. They kind of implied, my favorite modern decks have implied, like Land and Isle. Land and Isles felt super good. Oh my god. Okay, so they're playing islands because they're playing around Fulminator, right? That's the other rationale. If I Beast Within, then my opponent can attack me a few times. That's not good. But like, they could also remand the Beast Within, which is totally fine. Alright, let's just do this on upkeep. Every land we can destroy from our opponent is super strong. Yeah, there you go. Now they're gonna like go for a second land. Wow, they have like all basic islands? That's unreal. I don't know if that's like lucky or unlucky. Yeah, this is kind of a very unfortunate like sequence. Like we can wait a bit, but yeah, this is all kind of very unfortunate. And what I mean by unfortunate is like the fact that we're drawing like not cyclers. We have time. We have Violent Outburst, so we can probably play around Remand and stuff. Street Wraith is kind of nice. Because we have Fulminator in our deck, I have to cycle it now. But it is a lot of damage, so yeah. We only have 2 Living Ends in the deck though, so I have to be careful. Fulminator is interesting. Because our opponent like most likely will want to remand that. Let's see. Let me think about this sequence. Like, I play Fulminator, my opponent then remands it, then they untap, then what do I do next turn? So I take 3, I go to 9. Then I probably have to pass Violent Outburst. They probably counter, I go to 6. Then I lose to Bolt. Then I lose to Bolt, not Bolt Snap because I have Fairy Macabre. But like my pressure's so low. It might be a good sequence here to Violent Outburst at end of turn to kind of force the action, and then I can Fulminator like on my turn. Rather than, yeah. Because like my opponent's like clearly playing around Fulminator Mage. It's a bit awkward if my opponent has double Romando here. Flooded Strand, okay. Double Remand would be actually kind of brutal. I could try it, but like, yeah, if it fails twice, I lose. 2 Street Wraith is enough pressure. I'm okay with like just this. I know I could like Fairy Macabre, but 2 Street Wraiths are enough here, I think. Especially with like Violent Outburst to push damage and stuff. Like, yeah. It looks pretty weak, but 35 cards, dear God. So now they can, yeah, they have Remand, so that's bad. The second Remand would be really brutal. God. But they have to have the natural second Remand out of 13 cards. I gotta take the risk here. They might like negate or something like that, but I don't think this is getting better for me. I think like once I Violent Outburst, I gotta commit to this line. Okay, they have 6, that's good. Okay. So now I know what I'm drawing from my deck too. If I'm like paying attention. Okay, this is not good. Yeah, you fetch another land. This is a lot of basic lands. Steam Vents, yeah, pay 2. Oh my god, they have the second Remand. This is brutal. It's possible I should have waited for the Ricochet trap, but like 2 Remands is not that likely, so yeah, this is gonna be brutal because we don't have a Living End now. Okay, if my opponent has Breach anyways, we lose, but yeah. This is like one of the drawbacks of this deck is like this scenario. Like now they have access to Cryptic and stuff. Free? Okay, we get double bolted. Sure. Okay, our opponent kind of had it all anyways. We couldn't really play around much. Because they could have remanded our Fulminator anyways. We could have like not Beast Within the land right away. We could have done it like on turn 4. But then we couldn't like double. Yeah, we did this card. I don't think we could have really afforded to wait. We would have lost anyways to double bolt. Like one more attack and a double bolt, so yeah. I think it was right to play like there, like because they have to have 2 Remands and like or like another counter. It's not like super likely. They aren't doing much, but yeah. I wonder if I should have. The problem was like, yeah, I drew the Street Wraith that turn, so the kind of issue there was like I couldn't. Like, I could have Living End earlier because it would have been so bad. Like, it would have been so little pressure. Like, if I had ended up Living Ending. I mean, I could have, like, bluffed it or something. But, like, as in, like, see if my opponent lets it resolve and go. But, like, it would have been, like, 5 damage a turn. It wouldn't have been enough against what my opponent's doing. Especially, like, a very easy to kill 2/2. So, yeah. The lack of cyclers really hurt me there. It's okay. Well, this hand doesn't have the combo, but I mean, as in like the actual enabler, but it's pretty good otherwise. It's very fast. We're on the draw, so yeah, we have like tons of power between the Horror and the Desert Ceradon. The Mulligan of 4, dear God. Well, I don't know what they topped the card. What are they on? Dredge? Tarn. Okay, well. Tron can definitely win against us. They just have to, like, do it properly. Depends what this Tarn is getting. They top the card, so they definitely can't, like, do anything this turn. Wait, you top the card. Steam Vents. Delver. Oh, this should be... As long as we draw an enabler, we should be in excellent shape. Beast Wave In isn't an enabler, but it's fine. Cycle this now. Oh my god. Come on, F6 during these turns. You can't do anything anyways. Delver's not a good matchup because they put pressure. Let's see here. Let's play Blackleaf Cliffs and pass. I'm gonna cycle Horror because we could Simian Spirit Guide the Desert Ceradon a little later down the line. Hi, Tim at the bakery. Let's move on. What time is it? 5:50. It's a bit of a short stream, so like I'll probably do like a second league with like a really teched out version of Living End. Like it's definitely gonna be very weird. So okay, our opponent's finally gone for it. They've gone for the stack. Okay, they have Mana Leak. Okay, that's bad for us. We can Beast Within though the land that they have, so it's not so bad. But yeah, this is a lot of pressure very fast. If they don't have the land, this is great. I am planning on playing Blue End, like after this, like a second league. What is this, a second? Oh, an opt? Yeah, they should definitely opt now. Because like if they hit land and land, then they prevent Beast Within. Right, there we go. That's what you should do. I agree. Let's cycle... Cycle Horror Ceradon. I guess Horror's fine. Ugh. We don't have an enabler right now, which is kind of a frustrating thing. And there's a clock, and yeah. Drawing this many lands is not what the plan was. Man. Okay. We might actually lose this game. Because like our opponent has a Delver and a Mana Leak, and that's all they need. We also don't have an enabler, which is part of the punish though. Yeah. Ceradon. I think I have to Beast Within the Steam Vents because I'm pretty sure my opponent's gonna like use it up. Like to counter the Beast Within. If they don't have a land, we have to wait here. We have like a lot of mana, so we could. I'm gonna like just try to bank on drawing into the Living End enabler. This taps them out no matter what, but yeah, if we don't draw the Living End enabler, we will probably lose. But I think this is fine. Like, we're gonna take, like, this is better to do this turn while my opponent's, like, low on resources. But yeah, my opponent's gonna play Mana Leaks and Romance. So, and Snaps and stuff. I haven't seen Blue-Red Delver in ages, so. This matchup seems horrible, though. Alright, so they're gonna counter the Beast Within, which is excellent for us, because that way they don't get a free. And yeah, like as far as I'm concerned, that is as good as I wanted it to be. Okay, we got the Violent Outburst, which is exactly what we wanted. We're at 8. I don't want to take too much damage. Let me think. I might like. Okay, we need green, so I'm gonna cycle this with Simmons Spirit Guide because I don't want to like lose life. So very macabre. Okay, so we can remove Mana Leak and opt, and then we can just play this and Violent while you're tapped out. Right, and then we hit our Living End. Right, and then we pump, and then this should be way more than enough damage. We have like 8 of these enablers. I think it was totally fine to enable it. Also, the music ended. Let me get some more loaded up here. Might take a while, but yeah. Okay. Let's see. Let's do some jazz first from Chrono Trigger, and then we can do Link to the Past. This is a good game. We can listen to. Right. Okay, that should do for the stream. Right, tomorrow I'll need to custom. Okay, let's sideboard. Right, we have 2 minutes. They have counter magic, so Fulminators, ricochets. We want the Shriek Moss too though to buy time because they're on Delver. So we're gonna lose a lot of the marginal cards. Like Fairy Macabre is not what we want. They're like normally low on land, so Snapcaster's not as much a concern. They're super fast on us, so we need to cut at least 2 Beast Wyverns. I'm happy to keep 2, like in case there's like some random thing I haven't thought of. And we want to cut 2 guides. They are on Delver, so we do still need the speed. I think this kind of works. Let's go. The spiciness. The spiciness is, I'll show you after this match. Well, this hand isn't the best, but it has a Shriek Maw and a Ricochet Trap, so we'll keep. Because it buys us time with the Shriek Maw, and then we can hopefully get there. Right. Horror is good, but I don't want to lose too much life. Let me think. If I get a basic Swamp, then we still have red sources up the wazoo. So yeah, let's just face basic Swamp first. But yeah, the spiciness I'll show you like after this match because like for sure you're gonna enjoy it. I think you're gonna enjoy the second list. So like if you're watching, don't go at the end of this match. The league is over, but this like for sure something spicy's coming. Very spicy. It's very similar to this deck, and yet very different. I'm not sure about it. The build is definitely incorrect, but yeah. Okay, so they're not flipping their Delver, so they're going to opt. Man, okay. The opt is nice because it means the Shriek Maw is like going to resolve, which is awesome. If they don't have a land, then that's insane for us, of course. Okay, they had the island. Yeah. Okay, double island is bad. It's bad, like, because we have Fulminators. But normally these decks can't, like, play too much of this. Unless he's, like, on Moon stuff. Alright, cycle this. Draw the other basic Swamp. Fulminator. I still don't want to take damage, so we're going to just cast this with Evoke. Kill this thing here. So now my opponent can't really deal pressure. We don't have an enabler for Living End, which is kind of sad. They also have free islands, which is also sad, but different reasons. I'll still like cast my Fulminator here. Like I know it tells them about it, but I don't really care. They could counter this or whatever. Do what you want with this. Like if you want to mana leak this, I'm all for it. Like what do I care? Like this isn't like stopping you from doing anything. It's just like the best spell I have this turn. I'm definitely not casting. Even if I had like a Violent Outburst or Demonic Dread, I wouldn't cast it this turn. They're gonna get another basic island. No, they need like that at some point. They're gonna cast Blood Moon. That'd be really funny. Young Pyro. Okay, that makes more sense. We really an enabler here would be actually kind of nuts. Because then we could Ricochet Trap the enabler. We just need to, as in like, sorry, we could protect it. That is not good. That is not what we wanted. I could kill the Steam Vents. I might as well, actually. I don't want them to have access to this. But this is super bad. Because, like, I could, like, suspend this, but then that's my plan. And I don't like suspending this game this game. Because, like, my opponent has Young Pyromancer, and they just need to, like, start doing stuff with it. We have one Ricochet Trap. We can also start hard casting stuff too. I guess like suspending it is okay. Their clock is not that fast. I should attack with Fulminator. Yes, you're right. Like it would have been 2 free damage, so you're right. I should have attacked. That was 2 damage missed, for sure. Good spot. I got too hasty on wanting to stop my opponent's mana. So like now our plan is just to not do anything apart from cycle stuff. I don't really want to take damage. So it seems irrelevant, you say, and then like yeah, but you are right, so no. opts for damage. Nope. Right, they have like a ton of counters, but like, oh, Serum Visions is bad if they have it. Yeah, you should attack first. You're right about that. Yeah, so Living End's at 2. Delver, really into this? Sure, if you want. You know it's coming, so it's not like this is surprising to anybody. Carabit, Ceradon, okay. I might as well cycle this. Beastwyvern? Beastwyvern's interesting. Let's play Verdant and pass. This Beastwyvern is actually going to be pretty sweet. Actually, suspending Living End was like totally the right play. When our opponent has no pressure. It's probably super good against like the more proper blue decks. As in like control. Lightning Bolt. Okay, this is starting to be potential damage. Let me think here. I got a 9. 9 is okay. Okay, so I will fetch a red source, untapped of course, because I don't want to draw this Stomping Ground here. That would be bad. Okay, so no. Then I want to Beastwyvern. I probably should have given myself the option in case my opponent has Spell Pierce though. So this wasn't like wrong sequencing. This, by the way, gives them lethal. So for sure, like if this resolves, they're gonna do everything in their power to counter Living End. But they have Lightning Bolt, so they probably will counter this with Spell Pierce if they can. Okay, they're not gonna do so. So cycle this. Grove, okay. So we're forced to Ricochet Trap. There's literally no reason not to here. Like I was hoping to draw an enabler so that like I could keep the Ricochet Trap for something else. But yeah, we're gonna cast this Living End and hope for the best. Wow, that resolved. Jesus Christ. If that resolved, that is the end. I'm definitely not cycling this. How much is this? 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, this is extremely lethal. Wow, that happened? Holy smokes. That's insane. What was my opponent's plan? Like, I guess it was like Mana Leak? Why would you play Remand in those decks anyways? Like, most of the time you just want to buy time. Okay, well, we got this. Alright, we're gonna open... So like, I will present the deck. Oh, right. Moto bugged, so I had to restart it, and it did not save any changes. So I'm gonna have to import a list. Give me a second. Please tell me I saved this deck somewhere. I think I have. I'm gonna open the chest, but I want to like show you what is waiting for you next time. I am not certain of this build, so be gentle. It's a little bit of a different take, though. I'm gonna probably change a few cards around based on my experiences. Street race. Sorry. Based on my experiences, I'd rather have something like... The Fulminators have not been impressive, but the Beastwyverns have. Anyways, let's open the chest, yes. Oh, thanks, I appreciate the words. Yeah. Yeah, I try to do my best to like explain all like the options that I think are correct, and like I will make mistakes when I play because I'm on stream and there's not infinite time. But I hope like I do my best to like explain what's going on, and yeah. Anyways, let's open all the chests first. We got an Expedition Arid Misa. That's got to be like the most expensive card we have here for sure. We also got 45 play points. That sounds good. Why is that Arid Misa worth? Arid Misa is worth 9 tickets. Okay, that's, what was it, 8? So this is about on par. I can't imagine Elvis Champion's worth anything online. IRL, it's worth a lot if I remember. But yeah, IRL it's worth like $7 or something, like $6.50, 0.42. Not the 1x1. We don't like. I could do 1x1, but like it's pretty short and like, I mean, it takes a long time to do that. Recruiter of the Guard, is that worth anything? Like, I know it's a legacy playable, but like I don't know like how it works online. Oh, it's 7 tickets. Okay, that was pretty nice. Like, it's like still discovering how good these cards are, because a lot of the times I just don't know how much they're worth. Although I can assume that Sakiko, Mother of Summer, and Triskelios are like worthless, but yeah. I also got my 2 Bloodwater entities for standard. I don't really understand like the commons and uncommons they give you for standard. Like that doesn't, I don't know, like these commons and uncommons don't seem that great. Anyways, yeah. Yeah, so like this is like the version I wasn't sure about and I was like thinking of trying. The mana base is like a festival of garbage, but I think the like funniest part about this mana base is this Selesnya Sanctuary, which like seems like it makes zero friggin' sense. But when you actually think about it, it's like exactly what you want. Because you have Blood Sun, so like it can accelerate you. Like I would play like 2 Karus if I could actually. Maybe I could play like a second Karu, but probably not a Selesnya Sanctuary. And like it casts both Ardent Plea and Violent Outburst, so the idea is like with a Selesnya Sanctuary and like any of the blue-red lands, you can cast either Outburst or Plea. And like you can use the blue-red land to like Curator, Riverwinder, Ceradon. Like, I mean, I could like just go full ham and play like 4 Blood Suns, I guess, yeah. Yeah, Ardent Plea is like better than Demonic Dread. I usually had Demonic Dread here, and then I realized like it was like the same difference, so I might as well have Ardent Plea. It just works better with the mana base. As in, like, the way this mana base works is you need one of these blue-red lands and one of these multicolor lands. You could also, like, technically have 2 multicolor lands, but usually those are a little too much. You want 4 of Blood Sun? What would I cut for the Blood Sun? I guess the Fulminator Mage would not be... Like, those 2 cards combine well, but... Yeah, this version, though, doesn't play... the Reflection Trap, I think, because I think like your Curator of Mysteries plan is so strong post board that it's okay to just go for hard cast modes. But maybe I'm wrong on that. That might be incorrect. But like a lot of the blue decks play fetches, so if you can get like a quick Blood Sun and like this, it's good. Maybe that's wrong though. Maybe I shouldn't play Fulminator Mage at all. But it's really good against Tron because Blood Sun isn't. And I wanted Leyline against, like, Storm decks. Like, I could play Leylines or I could play Reflection Traps. I think I can play one or the other. I don't think I can play both. Yeah. Yeah, this deck is, like, something else. Let me put the score for the original Living End deck at 4-1, though. So, like... I'm kind of scared of running this because, like, when you design a deck like this, you want it to be good, and I know, like, my brain is like, this is probably not going to be very good. But I really want to run it, so... Okay, I'm going to, like, advertise it a bit. Let's build this first, though. Like, let's, like, think about how, like, we want this. I want, like... So what I want post-board is, like, a plan where hard casting my creatures is totally fine. But I think that's a little worse than the original Living End deck. Like, Curator is by far the best hard cast one. But then, like... You lose Horror, which is really good, and yeah, Archfiend is okay, but not insane. I could, like, because of that, like, because, like, I think that the post-board plat... Refraction Trap? I think, like, the ley lines are probably too unlikely. Not Refraction Trap. That's another card. Reflection, or whatever. Reflection Trap? What's the name of the card? Sorry. Ricochet Trap, right? Ricochet Trap. I think like the Ricochet Traps are probably better than the Ley Lines. Like these are good against Storm, but yeah. The Mind Break Trap is super sweet though. Against Storm. I really like the idea of the one-off Mind Break Trap. I think you can run the Wear Tear in this deck. I think it's like the mana base allows you to run it over like the extra beast within. This deck is a little weaker. I think like the way the games I've played, I want another beast within. I thought it was actually pretty good. Yeah. So like, I think the extra beast within is probably quite good. But then like we have to cut a sideboard card. The Vanilling League was kind of like a hybrid. Like I want to attack you. I want to check what your hand is. Card, which is good against Storm. Like I could just accept like my matchup against Tron is going to be super bad. Because like Blood Sun doesn't hurt Tron at all. Blood Sun hurts blue decks a lot. I think 2 Fulminators and like is fine. Like they haven't been like that impressive. People like have learned how to play around this card. So I think it's a lot worse than it used to be. Yeah. If we can get like a quick Blood Sun with Simmons Spirit Guide and then like Beast Within something, that sounds good. I'm also playing like Forbidden Orchids because they're better under Blood Sun than Mana Confluence. And the creature's not always relevant. It's relevant though when like you're making it and they have a blocker. So maybe I have to have another Gemstone Mine or something. Gemstone Mine's super bad under Blood Sun. But we can play it beforehand and it doesn't deal us damage. I might just need to play another Gemstone. But it's super bad under Blood Sun, which is the problem. Oh, also we're going to upgrade this island. Come on. We're not going for Ixalan. We're going for Guru. Actually, let's go for like foil unhinged. We're going to go like for... We're going to go for swag. This is more for like Ghost Quarter and stuff. Ghost Quarter. We're very, very... Ironically, we're super weak to Blood Moon. So yeah. But yeah, we could also play like another Karoo. The Karoos allow us to cast these River Winders post-board a lot easier. A lot more easily, sorry. The problem is like Reflecting Pool and like one of these Karoos is like not very good. I can only play so many lands that aren't good on their own. Like I think 3 would be the maximum and 2 is already like so-so. It's why I'm not playing 2 Reflecting Pools. Like I guess I could play like 2 Reflecting Pools, but you need like that original land. So like if I played Reflecting Pool number 2, then like I couldn't keep like I would have 16 lands that would work for 1 landers. So yeah. We're also only playing free Street Rave because like a lot of our lands deal damage. So I don't think we can afford to play more than free. You know what? Let's just give this a run. I need to like update the list, but yeah, I can also separate the scores because yeah, because I don't think it's fair to V200. Yeah. We're gonna call this V1. Right. Okay. So we're gonna play this sweet deck. Let me see. Let me just make the tick list tool, and then we're gonna start. I think this deck is too cool to not play. It might be terrible. Neoluin. But I really like the Curator and Riverwinder in Fury. It turns out like it probably doesn't matter, and it's a mistake to play blue, but you know. Documents. No. Oh, right. I haven't exported it. That was the problem. Export. Yeah, I think like we're gonna like face a lot of consistency problems, and this deck is not gonna be as cool as it looks. But we need to try it first, and then like dismiss it later. Okay. Like when I had Demonic Dread, then Forbidden Orchid looked a lot better, by the way. Alright, so. Okay, just generate this, and then yeah. Really don't like these autoplay videos. They're making my system lag. So let's see. Oh, I screwed up the wear tear. 1 second. It shouldn't take too long to make this happen. I'll start playing in like 3 minutes if you want to grab yourselves a drink. Or something. But yeah, if you're... If you're watching this on video on demand, the first half of this video, like with the classic version, is like what you should expect out of Lineage End. The second half is probably nonsense. But if you like nonsense and want to have some fun with it, why not? Okay. Right. Okay, we're gonna give this a shot. I have no idea if this is good or not, but... Oh, sorry, we don't want to trade. We want to play. We want to play. We want to play. Yeah, nonsense. Like, the one thing about this kind of series is, like, there's not been enough nonsense because... Neo Living End? Yes. Because I have to play, like tons of different decks. So, like, the problem is you're playing decks from the meta rather than nonsense. Which is fine. It's what it is. Okay, 1 sec. Delete. Forgot to put a link to my stream on that tweet. That was bad. Yeah, but yeah, ever since Rick's got released, my numbers got killed. Because I'm not playing standard or limited, and a lot of the streamers are coming back, so yeah. Rick's release totally killed the modern stream. That's fine, I really appreciate everybody that's here there, though. I think we already played against Chauvin. I think we played them like literally last league. I can't remember what they have, though. So, okay, this is going to take a while to process. We have our Enabler and a Cycler. I think it's okay to keep, but we're going to need another Cycler for this hand to be good. By the way, we can like 100% disguise what we're on, because this makes no sense. Like, we have them, like, we have everything we need, except for, like, another Cycler. I don't think they were the Burn player. I don't remember that name being associated with Burn or the image. Oh, that's just awful. Come on, really? Wow, this is this could be a very short game. If we're gonna draw like all 3 living ends at once, this is gonna be a very, very, very short game. Yeah, this is kind of like unfortunate. Okay, voice. Okay, this deck is one where Fairy Macabre is pretty key. Like, we're gonna need like some time. We're not gonna like act on their turn, but yeah, Fairy Macabre here is nice. I will probably just cast this Simian Spirit Guide. Yeah, cast. It's just like a blocker. It's totally fine. Nothing wrong with that. Yeah, if we can block and get like a free cycler, we're okay. But yeah. Knight of the Reliquary. I don't know how much I can like let this go further though. I think I can let this go for 1 turn, but then we're gonna get destroyed. We could Violent on their turn if needed, so it's not so bad. I don't really care about my opponent getting like an elemental. That's not relevant. Unless, I don't think they could like play Spellcaller, but that's a lot of basic forests. What is this? Courser? Okay. They're on the value land thing. So they're probably gonna like sack a land. Yeah, we're gonna let a lot of this stuff happen. Path, okay. Okay, I get to see what happens first before I decide what to do. Excavator, that's fine. Yeah, they're like on land nonsense. Let's just see what happens here. Bird, okay. Opponent doesn't attack, which is really frustrating. Let me think here. Like, only getting back a Curator seems super weak. Like, I could, like, get back... I don't want them to, like, get more lands, though. Like, I could Fairy Macabre and start attacking for 6 in the air every turn. It's not much. How much better is this going to get for me, though? They're going to go for a Runamap Excavator, and they're going to start playing fetch lands. I mean, they're going to do that anyways, but yeah. So, like... I think this is okay. Not optimal, though. Yeah, we're going to do that, and we're going to Violent Outburst. So yeah, our opponent's going to, like, obviously get a token that's going to, like, pretty much go away very fast. The one nice part is, like, we have flyers, so yeah, that's nice. 39 cards entered exile. Dear God. So we know what the bottom of our deck is. We still have... How many Blood Suns have I revealed? 1, 2, 3. Okay, so there's no Blood Suns. So we revealed 40 cards. Okay, so we got 7. So what are the last 7 cards? Right, let's see. How many lands we have? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So we're playing 19 lands and we have free in play. So there's free lands in those 7 cards. None of them are like particularly like something I desire. Archfiends. 2 Archfiends are gone. Is there a Beast Within left? Because that's a pretty important card if I can have access to it. No. Are there Violent Outbursts? 2. There's 1 Violent Outburst left. And Street Race, we have 1, 2, 3. Okay, the Street Race are gone. Fairy Macabre, 1, 2. Okay, so those are gone. How many Curators do we have? Curator is like the card I want to draw the most. We still have 2 Curators. Okay, so like I don't want to shuffle. Basically, I'm looking if I want to shuffle my library or not with Ardent Plea, or do I want to cycle? That was why I was like, this took a while. It's because, like, Curator of Mystery is, like, the card I want the most. So I'm going to, like, rather cycle here to scry and, like, stack my deck and make sure I'm getting to that Curator. So, bottom, the Island, draw, Forbidden Orchard, which we will play. Yeah. Because, yeah. Okay, and then we're going to attack for 6. Oh, our opponent got 2 Elementals. That was a mistake. I forgot. Oh, shoot, I forgot. Because it triggers and then our Cascade is on top. That was really stupid. Okay. We might lose now as a result of that. That was really bad on my part. I should have, like, calculated odds. Like, I should have, like, thought about that a little more. We would have drawn, like, a pretty irrelevant card, but still, that was really bad. If I had realized there was a second Elemental, I probably would have, like, not done this. Because now they have, like, 2 Elementals, and that's super bad. And we don't have, like, another Living End, so I can't, like, even raft the board. Yeah. Also, giving them a token with Forbidden is bad. Riverwinder. We can cycle Riverwind. Wait. No, we don't want to do that. No, we can't cast it. Oh, God. Okay. That was really stupid. I forgot about that. Violent Outburst is... Let's see. This is 6. And then it's 8, so we definitely want Violent Outburst, right? I thought they were all gone. I must have miscounted by 1. Okay. Because they're not going to... This is 6, 7, 8, so it's hard for them to kill us next turn. They would need 2 creatures, and this would be 5, 8. Yeah, we need the... We're going to keep the Violent Outburst, and we're going to hope to get there. My opponent has to cast, like, 2 creatures, and then we lose. But yeah, like, because of the second elemental, I shouldn't have done it. I should have just done Ardent Plea rather than Violent Outburst. And the Violent Outburst was, like, a faster clock, too. Voice for... Okay, this is not lethal, so if my opponent doesn't have Path... Which they shouldn't have, because they had Excavator on top. They could have, like, a Path in their hand, and that's it, but yeah. I mean, we're clearly going for it, so... Why are they waiting? Okay, they have Path, really? No? Okay, well, we're definitely going for it. No reason not to. We're, like, gonna lose if we don't, so... I'm definitely going for it. My opponent has Path. Yeah, okay, we can't win then. Okay. Because let's see, if I gave them 1 elemental less, we would have taken, like, a ton less damage. And we would have been able to get there. Like this, we lose. My opponent's right to wait till I attack, but, yeah, that's unfortunate. But I misplayed that game horribly. Drawing both Living Ends was bad, because, like, it meant I had no rebuy, like, later, if I needed to. Like, I couldn't, like, cycle a bunch of stuff. So Shriek Maws are good. Fulminators are okay. They rebuy lands, but like they have some mana requirements. Bloodsun is also really good because it shuts fetches. We can cut a guide. Maybe Fulminator's not so good. They can rebuy lands. I'm being silly. They have Azusa as well. Archfiend of Ifnir is really good against them because they're a creature-based deck. I think I keep the Bloodsuns on the play and I board them out because they have a lot of fetch lands and lands with activated abilities. So let's see, what do I want here? I need to board out 2 more cards. I could. They don't have discards, so I could board out like an Ardent Plea, I guess. And most of their hate will be like, yeah, we can board out a Beast Wyvern because we have Shriek Moss. Okay, we have to keep the Macabres, I think. But that was like super bad on my side of things. I should have like Ardent Plead on my turn, because like it was like close, but like felt like because of the extra attack and the 1 elemental on my opponent's side, I was fine. But I didn't like I didn't think about the rules there for a second, or like I should have at least thought about it or checked. And basically what happened was because my opponent got like that extra elemental, that was a ton more pressure, and it meant that I had to Violent Outburst to win rather than like have a bunch of attack steps, so I lost as a result. And that was me, and that was a really big mistake on my part. I should have like just, you know, gone for it. Like, I mean, like waited my turn, and then I would have drawn the Ceradon on top, which would have been good. So we didn't have a land end though, so it's closer. But yeah, anyways, I'd like to play first. This hand has 2 cyclers. It has a lot of mana, but Celestial Sanctuary is not good against them. I think the Ifnir is so good though that it's worth keeping. I think like this card is unreal against them. I'm gonna cycle to see if I'm gonna play Steam Vents or Spire Bluff. Okay, we're gonna play Steam Vents, tap them. We have City of Brass, so I probably won't play Selesnya Sanctuary right away. But drawing like another land was super bad. That was like the actual worst draw possible. That's birds or noble. Okay, bird. Yeah. If you're ever wondering what type of deck they are, like in terms of like damage or not, like if they like go with Birds of Paradise, that's more likely that they're like on the big value decks, and if they go for a noble, they're more on like the aggro plans. So like if you see bird, they're more like trying to go way over the top, and if you see Noble Hierarch, they're probably trying to go under. So like that's how you can tell the difference. This deck, yeah, because the flying becomes more relevant because you're trying to buy time. Let's see here. We're gonna probably want to cycle the Archfiend this turn. We can set up with City of Brass, either Ardent Plea or the other, so I'm fine with just passing here. The Archfiend is much better to hardcast, but it's going to be pretty hard to hardcast it here. One spell? Okay, I don't want a Rhetoric. Yeah, this is what I mean. Like, the Shriek Maw does beat these cards anyway, so it's fine. Okay, Neverland? Come on. That's not what we want. Okay, we're gonna cycle this. Ceradon? Let's think here. I'm probably gonna cycle this again. Okay. I do want to get to a Shriek Maw or something with the City of Brass, so we're going to play a Spire Bluff and pass. But yeah, this prevents us from comboing off, but we have Shriek Maws in our deck, so yeah. But like drawing all these lands is super bad. Like that's really unfortunate. Okay, Knight, sure. Bloodsun? Bloodsun's kind of nice. It stops a lot of the activated abilities. So we're going to just like play Bloodsun here. Yeah, let's play Bloodsun. This is definitely the turn for it. Right, Bloodsun, draw a card. Right, now we can play Spire Bluff with no drawback and pass. Bloodsun's like going to stop a lot of the nonsense that our opponent could do. And then we can, like, once we get there, we can Beast Within this Eidolon, and it does come back, but yeah. Okay, Township? Well, that doesn't do anything. Doing the work right there. If we ever get a Living End off, this is, like, a ton. So we just have to... These decks play Coco, but they don't play Chord. So I just have to, like, yeah... hope. We can cycle this Ceradon. We're also getting to the point where I can start hardcasting stuff, which is cool. Like, I could hardcast the Ceradon next turn if I wanted to. Like, with Selesnya Sanctuary. But, yeah. I don't think that's correct, though. I might as well, like, try to dig to some, like the, yeah. Selfless Spirit. Okay, that's awkward. Because now this survives. So hopefully we draw into... Shriek Maw wouldn't help, actually. Let's see. Do I want to cast the Ceradon? I mean, I need to get through my deck. And, like, it's not that big a thing. I'd rather, like, hard cast, like, a Curator of Mysteries or something like that. Okay. We have one anyways if we really want to. Violent Outburst? Okay. Well, that's the first card. Yeah, so this is kind of unfortunate, the Eidolon plus Selfless Spirit part of this. Because now we need, like, 2 effects, which is really frustrating. But we can cast this Ceradon. Is that better than cycling it? Because I could, like, go for Beast Within and then, like, hope to top deck something. I think we have to cycle. There are, like, I don't think it's going to stop too much here. And we can always, like, Fairy Macabre the lands so they're not, like, doing anything. Lunan? Okay, well, that's not good. I don't think we have time to suspend this either. Let's see. Let's play City of Brass and pass. And then I'm going to target the Selfless Spirit. What is best? Oh, this is bad. If this is Collected Company, this is super bad. Yeah, the Eidolon plus Selfless Spirit is a very hard combo when you're drawing air. Okay, Eternal Witness, Courser. Let's just see what the Courser does first. Okay, Ooze. Ooze is really bad for us. Right, let's remove that company and the forest. Ooze is like the actual... Sorry, something happened there. Ooze is like super bad for us. Because it like our opponent has like a lot of green... access to a ton of green mana. So this is not... Like the Ooze is like one of the worst possible cards that we can get hit by. Because it like totally stops all this nonsense. I think I have to just target the Eidolon Rhetoric here. I could also target the Selfless Spirit. It kind of does a very similar job. Yeah, we might as well target the Selfless Spirit. We need to draw top deck Shriek Maw, and then we have a chance. Yeah. We have a ton of creatures in the graveyard though, so if we like top deck Shriek Maw or the other beast within, then we're okay. Yeah. We get the beast, that's correct. We should do that. Yeah, we are in dire strait. We could beat one piece of hate, but not two. I guess unlike the original version, we're playing less. So they have 2 green sources here. I probably would have like kept the knight back because you have so much pressure. You could have killed me next turn, even without that beast. What is this? Shriek Maw? Oh, that was perfect. Okay, so we play Selesnya Sanctuary, which gives us like mana. Then we cast with Evoke on Eidolon of Rhetoric. This will come back, but that's fine. Yeah, they have Eternal Witness as well, so for sure we have to keep Fairy Macabre. Okay. Destroy Eidolon. I should have destroyed this before like evoking, like before the evoke goes to the graveyard, but I don't think it matters much. Okay, so oh, is my opponent thinking like what to ooze here? They're probably gonna have to ooze a lot. I think killing the Shriek Maw is probably the right line, but like this is gonna be like a ton. I don't think they can survive. Like they can survive like this comeback. Because like we won't have a flyer. Oh, we will have Macabre, I guess. Yeah. So they kill the Riverwinder. This is why I didn't like the attack with Knight. It's like you for sure had enough pressure, and if I get Living End, like you can at least stop free creatures. Like you can stop the flyers and have a chance with your Selfless Spirit. Sure. But like I should have destroyed it first because then I could Violent Outburst in response. It's okay though. We can just Outburst here. Right, Cascade. Oh, come on, really? Okay. Yeah, sorry. So, like, it seems like some frames are dropping. So, yeah, okay. So that happened. So now we have the motherboard. Yep. So this looks good. I think we're favored to win this game. Unless something that I haven't seen before comes up. Yeah, so you can get back Windswept Heath and not do much with it. Okay, so there's nothing we can do here. So let me not lose the game to something I haven't considered. We attack with these free, and my opponent blocks free. Then they don't take lethal. So the right line is to attack with a flyer. 2 free Ceradons. Like attack with both flyers and then keep 2 back. Yeah, that seems best. I don't want to take like any risks here. Because like they could block all 3 of these and yeah, it doesn't really matter. They wouldn't. They'll lose eventually. Okay, cool. So yeah, for sure the Fulminator plan's not good. We want that third beast within. So I said it when I was on the play, I might want to do something different. The Macabres are important. Sorry, when I'm on the draw. On the draw, the guide becomes more important. So I don't want to board that out. Oh yeah, one of the Blood Suns can go on the draw. Like, it's a really good card against them. It's just, like, they have a lot of annoying permanents post-board, so yeah, we have to get rid of those. I think this is fine. I could also have cut a land, I guess. Cut a land's probably fine. We got the 1 basic island. We only play 1 basic island because of Ghost Quarter and Path, so having that as the land in hand is really bad. I don't think I can keep because I need like too much help. If this was like any of the other lands in the deck, apart from maybe Reflecting Pool. Yeah, if this was Selesnya, Island, or Reflecting Pool, I can't keep, and any other land is fine. I have to mulligan, sadly. Double Gemstone. This is fine. It's Archfiend is so good against them that it's totally fine to like just get this back. We already have the Violent Outburst. We don't need like another enabler. Yeah. Okay, no bird is probably a good sign for us. River Wander's perfect. I just have to hope for no ooze on turn 3, I guess. Ooze on turn 3 would be brutal. On turn 2, it's also brutal, but at least I know it's coming. Cycle blue. Ceradon, sure. So with the Simian Spirit guy, we can exile some more stuff. We also have the Beast within if needed, so yeah. I can just pass here. Hopefully they don't have... If he has Idol... If my opponent has Eidolon, then I'm just gonna like cycle. Yeah. If my opponent has Eidolon, my plan is just to cycle. See what happens. I don't want a Violent Outburst. Okay, they have Ooze. Ooze is super bad. Especially with green mana up. I'm probably gonna just cycle... I want to cycle the Archfiend here. But the Archfiend is so good against my opponent. That's the problem. I definitely need to Beast Within this on my turn. I could also Violent Outburst on my turn in response to the Ooze. Like cycle Ceradon, and then when they like exile a card, like yeah. And I could cast this Archfiend. I think that's the plan. My plan here is to cycle Ceradon, and then when my opponent untaps, I Violent Outburst in response and get both back. I think that's okay as a plan, and if they don't do anything, I kind of get screwed, but it's okay. If they exile here, though, then... Okay, if my opponent exiles here, that's a different line. Because now I want a Simian Spirit Guide, get the Archfiend, and Violent Outburst. So, yeah, we want to cycle this. Yeah. Macabre? Macabre's interesting. I definitely want to Outburst this turn because it's like the right turn to do so. The only question I have is like, do I play the Macabre now, or do I keep it as like an effect for later? And I think like the effect for later is better than the 2/2 body because like Archfiend plus Macabre is super powerful. So yeah, we're gonna like just keep the effect for later. So I'm gonna like Outburst now using green, red, blue. Get a Living End. Cast. We got 4 cards. Okay, these are not too relevant, but yeah. Right, so our opponent gets like a token, but that's okay. And then we pass. And now we have Archfiend, like, which is super sweet. So like if our opponent goes for Eternal Witness, we can just remove what they target and like kill their board. If they go for like Knight, then it's a little closer, but yeah. Yeah, just I think just getting Archfiend on its own is like probably enough against them. Like they have Path though, so it's a little less clear cut, especially when they exile the Hexproof creature. Yeah, Paducah Bog. That's a little late. Man, that was a little late there. That guide really helped us. That Simian Spirit Guide. We can lose like the Living End and the Violent Outburst. That's fine. You can. Those cards like traumatized you, so I understand. Knight. Sure, that's fine. I have no issues with this Knight right now. I'll have an issue like next turn, but right now it's fine. Archfiend triggers on Macabre. It's whenever you cycle or discard another card. Definitely triggers. Okay, so let's see. We can cycle this and then make a judgment call later. Yeah, cycle this. I could also hardcast the Curator. Actually, that was a mistake. I should have That turn, I should have cast the Curator and cycled Macabre, which would have like allowed, because this also works, and it would have allowed me to cycle one. Guide? Okay, well, yeah. It's okay, don't worry. Like, it's not a very... I don't think it's that intuitive, so you're fine. So here we're going to exile the land and the ooze, I think, here. And then we're going to keep up a Beast Within for whatever nonsense our opponent might have. So, yeah, the Heath and the ooze can go. Right, the knight is gone. Then we play this. Then we attack. Right. But yeah, that was a mistake. I should have played the Curator. I know it like killed the knight though, so that was why I did it. But the Curator is such a massive threat. Yeah. Archfiend is really good in these matchups. Gideon's Intervention. Can't cast spells and prevent all damage by choices with a certain name. Okay, well that's... They're at 9, right? Yeah. What are they gonna name? Archfiend of Ithner? Okay, that's fine. Right, so here, this is a mana ability, so... Like, if I use this mana ability, I sack it right away, so like, because it's a mana ability, it doesn't go on the stack or anything, so I have to use the Spirit Guide. Because my plan here is to kill my own mine and like lethal my opponent, so yeah. Here... And we'll exile this. Right, we get a free, and that should do it. Worst case scenario, we attack with the Archfiend, and if our opponent like paths something, we can like Beast Within the Gideon's Intervention. Yeah, this does it. Cool. I don't know about this card though in that deck. That seems bad. Like you're playing Court of Collected Company, I would play Meddling Mage probably or something like that. Okay. Oh, you're green-white straight? It's a bit harder. I don't like Gideon's Intervention though in Modern. I think it's too expensive. But yeah, Archfiend triggers on discard, so it's very good with Fairy Macabre. Because it's a 0 mana, like, Wrath effect. Like, Archfiend, like, in the classic Living End deck, I didn't play it, because, like, that deck is focused on just speed, while this one is, like, more about flying over. Like, you play Blood Sun, and you're okay, like, to have an extra turn, like, most of the time. Out of these set 29 decks, like every day, like people ask me out of the decks I've played, how many I've liked so far, and every day the number just increased. I've liked Spreading Seas deck so far. Anything with Mox Opal or Spreading Seas has been impressive to me. That actually kind of sums it up, yeah. Tron was okay, but that's why I'm impressed by anything with Spreading Seas or Mox Opal. It's because Tron is good. As Foretold Living End also impressed me a lot more than I would have expected. The normal Living End deck, I think we got lucky in our game, so whatever, but... Okay. We have Cycler, Acceleration. The Living End is bad, but I think we can still keep this hand. We have, like, everything we need. Coast? Are they at Adnaz? Adnaz is, like, pretty hard. Vile. They're on humans then, okay. That's fine. If they're on humans, Meddling Mage is very dangerous, but we have Beast Within. And we also have Fairy Macabre. Yes. Right. Our opponent's Kitesail Freebooter can be awkward. Like, if they go Seachrome Coast Vile, they're most likely on humans. Blood Sun doesn't do much against them, sadly, because they're not playing the fetch base. Like, sometimes you can get like unclaimed territories, so it's okay on the play in game 1, but like it's pretty bad on the draw. So this is not a matchup for Blood Sun. Because they also have Isle. So yeah, Thalia is a big problem, by the way. Like huge. Like, because then this costs like a ton more. And their clock is fast enough, you can't like suspend this and like hope that that's good enough. What the hell? 1? I should have waited. They had champion. Oh, they were gonna do this anyways. Oh no, because I could have bolted the champion. So, oh man, okay. My opponent was like playing clever, and I could have like prevented a damage because they were playing clever. Hey, it's fine. That's what it is. Right. So our turn. Cycle this. We can get to 5 mana too. I don't think that's like unrealistic. Or we can get like... This turn we can't do anything. That's kind of a dagger actually. Because we had like... If we were gonna like... If we were on the play, I would probably Violent Outburst, but yeah. Let's see here. I don't want to take too much damage. We can just play this island and pass. Yeah, we don't need to do anything here. Our plan is probably going to be to Beast Within. The problem is we can't like Violent Outburst plus Living End. If my opponent goes Meddling Mage, this is super brutal. Because then I have to like Beast Within a Meddling Mage. If they freebooter us, like, yeah. Game 1, this matchup's hard, especially if they're on the play. On the draw, on the play, we have a chance. A good chance, but on the draw, it's horrible for us. Yeah, and you can kind of see why. Like, they can just look at our hand and take the Violent Outburst. We have like 8 of that effect and Cyclers, so it's not as bad as it seems. But yeah, it's not very good. Meddling Mage is like the only super brutal card. Like if they take Beast Within and like name Living End, it's really hard for us to win. We're at 16. Let's see, this is 5, 6. Assuming they have another human, this is 6. We go to 10. Image. Freebooter, I guess. I'm less sure about this, to be honest. Like, because Beast Within is... It's okay, but it's not like that insane. Like, it's also not dealing that much pressure. If they have Mantis Rider, this makes more sense. This is 4, 5, 6 right now. We go to 6. The next turn... This is almost lethal. And 2 of our lands tap for nonsense mana. So, yeah. We probably lost this, but I think this mostly came down to us being on the draw. I don't think, like, the normal Living End version would have won either, so... Like, yeah. Maybe, actually. The damage you take from lands is bad. Oh my god, this is awful. I can't even play... Like, I could have played Fairy Macabre, I guess, on the normal mana base. So, that's like the drawback. Because, yeah, like, I can play this City of Brass, but I'm going to die to humans. So, yeah. But, yeah, it's because, like, our opponent was on the play with a Vial. That wasn't, like, something we could fight. Thalia plus Vial is too much. Especially when you're on the draw. Like, on the play, there would have been a chance because... like, they would have dropped the Thalia, like, the next turn. We've been like, okay, so I guess... Like, once they freebooter, you can Violent Outburst in response to that freebooter. Because we had 4 mana. This is not a good matchup. I can't imagine. Archfiend is unreal, but yeah. Like, so we take... Almost lethal. And then, like, we can't use these, so yeah. I guess, like, the... we took 2 from this... And then these aren't working. So, like, the normal meta base would have been able to, if they top decked the Demonic Dread, like, cast it. What is this? Oh, Malcontents? Okay, that was helpful info. The normal version would have won ever. Okay. Malcontents? Okay, that's useful to know that they have, like, that. Shriek Balls are clearly great. They are pretty short on land, so Fulminator is not actually that bad. And we can play, like, 1 Ingot Chewer if there's space. Because, like, killing the Vial is actually okay. Blood Sun isn't very good against them because they have Vial and stuff. Macabre, we need Beast Withins because they have, like, freebooters and stuff, so you need, like, a lot of these. I don't think we're going to have space for this Chewer. It would have been cool, though, but yeah. They have Thalia, so Guide is pretty important. Maybe we don't have time for Fulminator. I think we have to just stay combo focused. Just remove the Blood Suns for some Shriek Maws, and yeah, that should do it. Yeah, because the Fulminators would be nice on the play, but I think our best line against them is not to like attack their mana, which is pretty hard. It's just to, yeah, like get an Archfiend. Archfiend is like the card you want. We need to keep this because you need redundancy, and they sometimes have Anafenza too. Yeah. I think that's it, right? Like, I don't want V-Click against... V-Click can be okay. Just as, like, because it's a creature that can block and, like, sanity checks in response to a Vial trigger. But if they're smart, they're only going to Vial, like, when we try to Living End. Like if they have a Violin too. There's a lot of damage, but this is a super fast hand. I think we have to keep this because there's a potential for turn 2 living end or turn 3. Like if we draw well, which I don't think is like that unlikely. We need like at least a land, but yeah. We're gonna take a lot of damage from our lands, but I think that's okay because of the way humans damage works. It's usually like a little bit of damage, then medium amount, then a large amount. So like usually like the amount of life is not as relevant. Sometimes it can be, but I think it's okay. Yeah. Normally humans plays Anafenza, so like this game we're favored if we draw Ardent Plea or Violent Outburst, and we're in trouble if we don't. They could also have Meddling Mage on turn 2, then we're like forced to like Violent Outburst or Plea. It might be correct to do it because we have like 10 power already, but I mean I'm saying all these things assuming I'm going to draw like land and one of the pieces, but if I don't, then this game is going to be pretty short, so it's fine. Okay, your opponent tanked. They probably have like a pretty strange hand. Let's just do this to start off. Okay, Beast Women is not the card we wanted right now, but we'll take it. I cycled before because if you have a Spire Bluff or something, it's better to play it here. Starting with Mana Confluence can be really painful. I don't want to use this guide for Archfiend. And you can like kind of see the cost of Archfiend here. Like it's super powerful in some situations, but like this is like the cost. Okay, human, and then get like some kind of noble hierarch effect or champion. Noble's bad because it's speed. The other card doesn't matter as much. Right, cycle, steam vents. Okay. Spire Bluff. Right, so we can cycle Archfiend. And then, yeah, we have to hope that the Thalia doesn't hit. Well, we also need to draw Ardent Plea or Violent Outburst, but if they go Meddling Mage... The other plan I could go for is instead of cycling this Archfiend, I could just, like, not and, like, just hardcast it with Simian Spirit Guide. That's actually not a line I had considered. It's going to be a little harder with this, though. This is fast. If my opponent didn't have Champion, I might have considered it. We would have needed a second Black Source, too. That's the other problem. Blue-White Meddling Mage. We have Beast Within, so I think this is fine. We could also draw into Shriekmaw. Yeah, like, hard-casting Archfiend is super strong against humans. But we would need some time, right? Like, maybe like 2 more turns. And we need a Black Source, which would be a natural draw. And then we would need to keep the Fairy Macabre to actually flash everything that way. Yeah. You have to say Living End, since we do cast it. Although our opponent doesn't have Vial, so we could potentially Beast Within this. But if they have Thalia too, it's all this is problematic. Right, okay. So cycling this is actually a really high cost of opportunity. But I think we have to go through more cards in our deck, so yeah. Riverwinder, okay. Well, we have Beast Within. Which we're forced to use on Meddling Mage, and we're going to have to get lucky. There's a lot of stuff. Humans just seems like a horrific matchup for us. That's what it boils down to. Hopefully my opponent doesn't have a second Meddling Mage. That would just be disgusting. They have a second Meddling Mage. If they have a Phantasmal Image, this is a good blowout opportunity. Black, okay, they have a Freebooter. Well, we definitely need to Beast Within the Mage here. Kind of ironically, they're going to get the Living End, which I don't really care about. Yeah. I don't use Guide because to like cast the Beast Within and cycle. I don't think there's much of an interest in doing that here. Like, I mean, there's not much of an interest for me because I could do this later anyways. Like, it's not like speeding me up in any way, so. We do need to hit next turn though. That is 100%. If our opponent has Meddling Mage here, they're probably gonna win this game. That's not good. Yeah, so I'm putting my opponent to win this game. Because, like, we're not going to be able to, like, come back in time, I think. Like, we need another answer to this meddling mage. And yeah, I'm not going to be able to do it in time. Yeah. I'm going to be really annoyed if I, like, draw the thing for Archfiend, though. Like, the land I needed. I mean, I did cycle, so technically I wouldn't have drawn the land. Okay, that's fine. Okay, we gotta cycle this, that's for sure. How much damage is this? This is a ton of damage, right? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Ugh. I could hardcast Curator with Sim and Spirit Guide. How am I surviving if I don't do that? Because that's like already 10. So like hardcasting Curator actually seems totally legit. That might actually be raw. I mean, I probably just lose anyways. Yeah. Humans seems like a horrific matchup. Main deck Meddling Mage is not going to help you. I think, yeah, like having main deck Meddling Mage is super bad for us. Especially when they have 4 of them. Like, it's a really good card against Living End to start with, and they have 4 main deck. Yeah, like... I think, like against decks like this, you need 2 pieces of interaction. Like, you need the Beast Within and the Shriek Maw. Like, just one won't do. You do cycle a lot, and you're hoping to get lucky, so it's fine, but yeah. The other version, I guess they wouldn't have had Archfiend, but yeah. Right, Poison Cap, you draw. I think that's like one of the best attractions of the Humans deck is you get to play this card, and this card's awesome. Maybe the Humans actually run a 3rd or 4th Canopy. Like, this card is so good that it's worth it, I feel. Here they should attack with everything, because it puts me to 1, which disables this Mana Confluence. And trading with a champion is just not a winning line, right? Well, they don't have to attack with a little higher, but yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, yeah. Whoa, whoa, whoa. 1 second. Scry 1. We don't have time for this. I don't think there's any card that saves me here. Because, like, the Meddling Mage on Living End kind of kills me. We're all set 1, so yeah. Vial, sure. Yeah, there was no card that could save me after that attack, so... Okay. It's okay. Humans is supposed to be a terrible matchup. Like, Humans is at its best against single card combo decks. Because, like, it's, like, very... Like, Meddling Mage is so good against those decks that... Yeah. X-Will? I played against X-Will a few times. What is he on? I remember, like, seeing his list. I actually ran his list. Is he on Adnaz? Because the name rings a bell to me. Yeah, I copied his ad nauseum list, so I think he's on ad nause. Well, this hand is pretty bad, to be honest. I don't have any of the... I have the mana, but I only have 1 cycler. I mean, I guess I should keep... Like, I know they're on ad nause, but in the dark I should keep because I can turn 2 Blood Sun, and that could, like, work against certain decks. We also have, like, the mana to cast anything. I guess I'll keep, but this is pretty marginal. This Blood Sun, will I be a Beast Within in another matchup, I guess? I don't know. Ad nauseum is also a terrible matchup. They can just, like, prevent you. Like, they can't stop you from your game plan most of the time, but it doesn't really matter. Like, yeah. Because, like, they're just gonna, like, combo off. Blood Sun actually makes their City of Brasses better. It makes their Gemstone Mines, like, uncastables, though, and it cuts off Scry. So there is some interest in it, but not that much. Curator, okay. This is actually kind of tough, because, like, Blood Sun, like, makes City better. But it makes, like, my opponent doesn't play mine, like, it makes mine, like, not a land. It makes the scry lands, like, come into play untap but not scry. So, like, I still probably have to just play it out to draw a card, which is unfortunate. It's possible as well that my line should just be to Living End right away. That might be actually my line is just a Living End right away, because yeah. Yeah, I'm probably gonna do that. Like, just Living End right away. It's like at least a clock of some sort. Like, it's some power. What do they do with the Stern Visions? They top bottomed. Okay, let's... Right. Okay, let's cycle this. Riverwinder. Riverwinder makes things more awkward. Because, like, I do want the extra power. Oh, wow, we have Guide. Okay. So we can cycle Riverwinder. That's perfect. That's actually... Drawing Guide there was, like, the nuts. Everyone plays Guide, too. They understand what the power of Guide is. Right. So... We needed a green mana. So, yeah, green. Yeah, this draw is, like, unreal, actually. This is, like, one of the most powerful draws I've had so far. Like, turn 2 Living End with, like, this much power is kind of unreal. Our opponent could technically, like, counter this, but it's okay because we have Ardent Plea next turn, so... Right. I may or may not cast Blood Sun. The fact that it prevents damage is a problem. The fact that it makes lands untapped is also a problem. We'll see. This is where, like, I might lose where the normal Living End deck would win. Because this would be like horror or something. These would be like horrors and actually, it would be like horror, but the other one would be a garbage card, like Architect of oh, it would be Carabid. That's probably more damage overall. Right, Pentat Prison. I don't really want to play Blood Sun, so that like here. Okay, my opponent like didn't play a land, so it does draw a card. And I do want to get to a Beast Within, but it would stop like a top deck Gemstone Mine, but I think he only plays 1 or 2 of that card. 3, 4, 5, 6. It also means that like if my opponent Angels Graces, then they don't have to worry about damage. So like I think I'm just gonna like not play Blood Sun here. This is just not the matchup for it. Yeah. They're probably gonna like Angel's Grace at some point. Like if I play Blood Sun here, then it's like not very good. They kept Pentat Prison then? Okay, yeah. I assume this is Phyrexian on life, yeah. So this puts them to poison. Yeah. So this attack should put them to poison unless they have Angel's Grace, but then like we basically kill their land, so it's okay. I will probably cast the Blood Sun if my opponent Angel's Grace does an Angel's Grace here, because like drawing the card is useful. It's kind of hard because like Scrylands coming into play tapped is really strong for me here. My opponent can't do anything. This is lethal. Let's just play a land and pass. We're voting this out clearly. I think this card is really good. It's just not. I think it's too matchup dependent, so maybe you can't main deck this. Oh, they have Guide? No way. Oh wow, they had 2 guides? Ugh. Well, so yeah, it doesn't matter here. Because my opponent didn't make a land drop. Yeah, Living End's very good sometimes. Sorry, not Living End, Nas. Yeah. If I have Angel's Grace in the sideboard. Yeah, that'd be really funny, actually. That'd probably be, like, the coolest way to win. But that, yeah. I did not think about that. That is, like, one of the coolest ways to kill Ad Nas. Is, like, to have an Angel's Grace. And, like, yeah, when they try to go off, just do that. The problem is they can try to do it with Lab Maniac, so... they would be a negative. You're right. That would be, like, really cool. You're right. Just like 1 Angel's Grace is good enough. I like that idea actually. That's probably like the coolest idea. They can play like any land here. So yeah, they play. By the way, they could have like played anything else. Like clearly, like I'm not stopping Lightning Storm. They actually had the Lightning Storm in hand. Oh wow, okay. Yeah. So we would have won if we were normal Adnauts because we'd have access to what's it called? Beast Within. So yeah. I think at least on one. Yeah, that was just unfortunate. Okay. They have Pact and Negation, but I don't really care if they do that. Mindbreak Trap is okay. The problem is they're only keeping at least one Pact and Negation. We'll keep Clique. Clique is pretty good against them. Wear Tears are also good, and we want Ingotures. Fulminators are also good. We don't want Blood Suns, and Fairy Macabres are pretty limited in use. We want to keep the Beast Withins. Our opponent has very little disruption, so... why is this Fairy Macabre not wanting to get out of my deck? Oh, come on. I really don't want to, like... Is Moto glitching for me? Because this is not a good time to glitch Moto. Like, really not a good time. Because, like, my stream is fine, and my internet's fine. So, clearly, the problem is with you. What? Wait, why is this Macabre not wanting to get out? Like, it's just stuck. It's just like, I want to stick around. Am I doing something wrong? Like, everything else can go out, but this Macabre is, like, stuck in my deck. What the hell? Okay, well, we'll try to, like, to remove cards. Archfiends are, like, the least efficient cycler. So, like, I would be happy submitting this without the Macabre. Okay, so it clearly... Okay, fine. It was out. It was just a glitch. Okay, we'll play first, yes. We have Cerodon. We have this, which is useless. We have a Beast Within for permanence. I think this is like kind of borderline, but we have a very fast hand. This is a very borderline hand, though. Because, like, we have 4 mana sources and 1 cycler. I think I want to mulligan this. This looks like I'm not playing this deck, but it's fine. We'll keep. Well, we definitely need a Violent Outburst at some point. We have 8 in our deck. I think we could bottom it because we have like a lot of these in our deck, so it's hard to say if we like need it now. Okay. Because we only have Street Wraith as well, so yeah, I think it's fine. I wouldn't have like my hand wasn't designed to have a fast violent. All right. Then we're going to play Island, and we're going to clique our opponent, which is going to shock them. Lotus Bloom? Okay. Gem Summoning. Nothing to do here. The Wear Tear is going to be super good, though. Like, really, really good. Yeah. I'm probably gonna like EOT the clique because there's nothing that my opponent could do on turn 3 which bothers me. Another Lotus Bloom? Okay. Have 5 cards. Because like I could easily Wear Tear the cards, so it's not a problem. Ardent Plea? Okay, so we got C. So it was correct to board out the card. Like, because they could go for Unlife. I guess if they have 2, I could click on Draw Step. I don't think there's much of a disadvantage to doing so. I get to see what they kept on top, right? Yeah. Might as well do on draw. It's like maximum lack of choice for my opponent. Yep, just... can I? Yeah, okay, cool. This is probably surprising them. Pact and Negation. That's interesting. I guess their plan is to like Angel's Grace. They have everything they need. That'd been so one thing I didn't consider was clicking on our turn because of Pact and Negation. So yeah, that was actually kind of interesting. Oh, this is gonna be Oh, this is gonna be beautiful. Because they have to pay for the pact anyways, right? So let me think here. They have to pay for the pact. I could cycle this anyways, no matter what. Red. Street Rave, cycle. This is a lot of self-damage. Okay, Violent Outburst. Alright, so we have to... I could, like, wear this in response to... Like, if my opponent goes ad nause, I could wear this. Yeah, I don't need to do anything this turn. I could do it during their turn. Like, because it's very unlikely that they have a second impact of negation. Also, this in our graveyard is actually pretty good. Because we can, like, Violent Outburst it. So I want to see if they're going to pay for their pact first. And then we'll make that decision. But I could, like, get back the Clique on draw. Oh, they could also combo off in response, but then we can tear the Unlife. Yeah, we'll do that. We're gonna my plan. If my opponent goes ad nauseam in response, I can just tear this Unlife. Right. The other plan was to like get the Clique back, of course. They could like value ad nauseam, but like they can't pay for this pact. So unless they have Grace here, they lose. Why not? Oh, well, like they have to pay for this pact or get a yeah, like they're keeping in all packs. Wow, that is a lot of packs. So because my opponent's keeping in free packs and negation. Yeah, no, I'm not gonna let that mouse resolve. That would just be GG. They kept in free packs. That's insane. I wonder like. If the better line there was to Violent Outburst, like in response to like see if they had an ad nause, but yeah. Angel's Grace to not die. But they don't have another one, so I could Ardent Plea on my turn. Yeah, they suspend a Lotus Blue. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so there's 3 unknowns in my opponent's hand. But yeah, maybe the right line there was to... The problem with like going for the Violent Outburst line is if my opponent had 2 ad nauseas, I would lose. So Scry. I don't know about like all this, but yeah. Top and... Oh, with the Temple, okay. Obviously they could pact on their turn, so it's actually pretty close as to whether I do it on their turn or mine. But then they have to pay on their turn, so I'm very incentivized to do it on my turn. Because like clearly they don't have an Angel's Grace. They could like pay for the pact technically, I guess, but then it taps them out again. So okay, so they lost the Shores, they played the Temple, they lost the Serum Visions. Clearly, you don't need these free packs. Okay, Serum Visions number 2 goes. Thoughtseize goes. I think the other Thoughtseize should go. I don't think it's gonna serve. They could have Simon's Spirit Guide. Okay, they lost a pact. Yeah, that's fine. Right, so now I can Ardent Plea. Right, okay, cool. Seems like the game has an issue if I tap City of Brass beforehand. Okay. Okay, so Cascade. Okay, we reveal 5 cards, so an Outburst is gone. Like, my opponent could pact, and then they have to pay, and then we recast Violent, and then they have to repay, so... They could, like, do all this, of course, but... I'm not sure about all these packs, but yeah. Okay, we're gonna look at their hand very clearly. I'm not sure about the countering the Clique, but yeah. Okay, so my opponent has Ad Nause, Pact, Unlife. They're at 10. I'm pretty tempted to... They top the card, though. This is kind of tough, because like they top the card. But I have no answer to this Unlife. And they only have so much mana. I think I'm going to take the Unlife, but if I'm wrong, this is horrible, of course. So, yeah. Let's just hope that my opponent did not top an Unlife. A Grace would be okay, but an Unlife would not be. Right, so this tapped. Because my opponent has Bloom as well, so like they could have easily done Unlife and Ad Naz there. Oh, I forgot they had Bloom. They could pay for that pack. So like their top card is Unlife or Grace. Oh, I think they probably kept a Grace. Yeah, I think that's pretty risky though. Like, what happens if I take Ad Naz? Yeah, because if they like pack, they can't pay for it because they, yeah, so. Yeah, so that was the thing, is that Naz is like the least likely card, so maybe I should have taken it. Yeah. I forgot about the Bloom. The Bloom was pretty key there. Yeah, like... Yeah, so that line was actually interesting from both sides. Because, like, my opponent has another... Yeah, so, okay, so what happened there was my opponent kept a Grace on top, and that was, like, something I did consider. But it was really weird that my opponent didn't pack the Living End. I think that was just a mistake, especially with 2 packs. Because my opponent could pay the pack with Lotus Bloom. Especially with Grace, and then they could just yeah, so they could have paid for the pact with Lotus Bloom, then drawn Grace. And the thing is, like, if they counter the Living End, I have no pressure. So like, even if next turn like I cast another card, like another Living End, say, yeah, they should have like countered the Living End, because then yeah, this is lethal. Okay, yeah, because like then if my opponent like does this, then it's good enough. Because like if I took the Ad Naz, that would have been good enough. But like my opponent was like 100% to win because of the way Living End, kind of, because of the way Living End works. Like you can only pay like cards of a certain cost. So yeah, so what my opponent should have done there was pack the Living End, pay for it, and then they have a second pact, and they have Angel's Grace. So then they just Angel's Grace, in response to like the second pact, and then they can win with Ad Naz. So we're on the draw, and this hand is awkward. We have Blood Sun on turn 2. Let's just see how good it is. Whoa, 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 what happened there? That was weird. Yeah. The mic just fed back into my ears. That was very painful. Okay. Maybe this hand is like a little greedy. Maybe we should have mulligan. It doesn't do anything. If we were on the play, I definitely should have kept. Okay, we're against like some kind of Death Shadow deck. Oh, Faithless Looting? Okay. Okay. If they play main deck Blood Moon, which they sometimes do, this is horrible for us. Oh, yeah. I think it was an error there because like you were pretty much there. One sec. My microphone is like really glitching. That is super painful. I hope it doesn't happen again, but yeah. Trying Steam Vets was super bad there, of course. They might miss assigning like stuff, but yeah. But yeah, there it was just like you could guarantee to win 100%. Oh, I got the mistake. My microphone was like on, like preventing, yeah. This Fotsies for Blood Sun is actually going to be painful. They could take Ardent Plea too and then we're further off, but yeah. They took Ardent Plea? Okay. Yeah, I didn't realize that my headphones, like they're like noise cancelling, but like it seems like the noise cancelling was on, which means the battery got completely drained, which is bad obviously. I guess this isn't going to do much here, but yeah. Okay, so Spire Bluff, Blood Sun. Might as well. Sure, but like I played Ad Nauseam super bad, so don't let that like dissuade you. But like I think like all those little things like matter a lot over time. Like because there if I took the Ad Naus, I had like a pretty reasonable chance at victory. This is kind of frustrating. Yeah, the stream is not dropping, so this is like I clearly paid for this Blood Sun, but for some reason my land was tapped. Okay, my land was tapped, but like I hadn't paid for some reason. I don't know. Okay. Well, Blood Sun happened. Yeah, drawing all these lands has been really frustrating here. Okay, Lingering Souls flashback, sure. Okay, take 2. We have time. So hopefully we can use that time to our advantage. The nice thing about Living End though is like all you need is like a bunch of cyclers at like the right time and it's good enough. 1 second. I do want to Beast Within this turn, like their Blood Crypt. So we're gonna do that on upkeep to prevent free damage. Right, we're gonna do that. So we're gonna Beast Within their Blood Crypt. This does put more of a clock on us, but yeah, I think the payoff is high enough. Like then now being able to cast spells is really nice. Black? Upkeep. Fail push a token or what? Like this is upkeep, so I'm trying to figure out what they could do with black and upkeep. Nothing. That was what I thought. Like they could have bolted on upkeep if they had it, but okay. Oh, they drew Lightning Bolt? Okay. They clearly would have bolted on upkeep if they had it, so they clearly drew it. Okay, let's try not to die too fast. I could just cast this Curator. It's actually pretty good here. Just cast. And then that gives me time to get to like the other stuff. This is hard to deal with for just red mana. Blocks like most of my opponent's board. We take some damage, it's okay though. I think my opponent is like just like, am I getting trolled right now or something? We want to block the token since it's the most damage. We're at 6. What that's Fork Bolts and stuff. Okay, Macabre is pretty nice. I could like cast a second one, or I could start like working towards a Living End. I think because like I get the Scry one, that's pretty powerful. Let me think here. I could do this one first because this is the most info. Like I could get rid of these two because this Scry's 1, so. Street Wraith I can't because of my life total. Okay. Like I could just play a second creator, but the problem is I can't like attack, so it's kind of an issue. Top, draw. Cycle. This is where it gets more interesting. I think like I win by like blocking this. I go to 4. 4 isn't very different from 3 in this matchup, so I think I want to get the cycler to just get more info. Like I know like if I had like literal, like if I had a literal enabler on top, then this was bad, of course. But yeah. Okay. Right. Might as well do this now. Finally catching me live after this much time. We're gonna put this on top because we can cycle a letter to scry. I'm probably not gonna use this mana confluence because I don't want to die to like just lightning bolt. Yeah. Finally catching me live after 29 days. That's pretty insane. Well, at least better late than never. I don't know how good this Blood Sun is because I don't know what my opponent's hand is like. And if they have fetch lands, they would definitely like use them up. I think Blood Sun is good in this matchup, so yeah. Let's block here. I'm at 4. Archfiend is pretty good. I can't cast it without like losing life, which is awkward. Let's just cycle this Riverwinder, and we can get a good idea of what's going on. Okay, Violent Outburst is great. We can cast Violent Outburst a little later. Let's attack. Our opponent is like 100% aware they're dead, but yeah. My plans for after the 30 days, go to GP London, celebrate my 30th birthday, have some fun, all that stuff. I'll probably stream in the future. I just like I'm going to GPs and stuff, so I'm going to do that first. But my opponent, by the way, didn't have Lightning Bolt, but like they might have Fork Bolt or something. So I just Cascade into Living End, and then we win. Cool, okay. So that's the plan. They play Blood Moon, so we have to like hit their Blood Moon before they get there. Shriekmaw's okay because it kills Young Pyro. They don't, because of Blood Moon, I'm kind of forced to keep 1 mana up for Tear. That's kind of bad though. Like I don't like this, but let's see if we have space for it. Fulminators are okay because like they have mountains but not much else, and they fetch, so we can like Blood Sun them out potentially. Okay, this is gonna be a hard one. They're pretty aggressive decks, so Street Wraith is actually a problem. Ifnir is really good because they have like a lot of Lingering Soul tokens and stuff. I think on the draw we can't mana deny them, so I'm gonna lose the Fulminators, but on the play I'll bring them back. They have a lot of discard, so speed is less of an issue. So we can cut 2 guides. Yeah, Wurcher is gonna be awkward though. Macabre is important because they have looting, Lingering Souls. They have a lot of like cards we want to get rid of. Beastwiven is like, because sometimes you just have to get rid of a Blood Moon. It's just a good like card in general. Yeah. But yeah, post board, like we just need to be careful for Blood Moon. Well, this is like a conundrum. I have 1 Reflecting Pool, like just to not take too much damage. That'd be great, except of course that I don't have any of her land, so this would produce nothing. So I have to mulligan, which is kind of sad. Oh, this is a little better, so we'll keep. We have Shriekmaw and Curator is pretty nice. Gemstone Mine is like no damage, but we have Spirit Guide, and let's bottom it. Let me skip this. Okay, so turn 1, no discard makes sense to me. Like you want to see what your opponent does. Let's play City of Brass and pass. Also, if you have like Young Pyromancer, this makes a lot of sense. Like you want to keep the effect. But yeah. Right. Use that fetch land before it's too late. I think Blood Sun was really good for us game 1. It's hard to tell because our opponent didn't make land drops after, but they have Faithless Looting in their deck, so yeah. Right, Young Pyro, cycle for blue. Curator, okay. So we're gonna Shriek Maw this. Man, this is very close. Because like if they have Blood Moon, we lose. And we also have Violent Outburst to Living End. This is kind of close. The problem is I can only use Spirit Guide once. So this is actually a really close call. But like I could, if I draw like another land next turn, then I can like cycle this too. I'm gonna evoke this, but this might be a big mistake. I can keep up Beast Within. If my plan was to Beast Within, I could keep it up, but that doesn't seem like a winning line. Blood Moon. It's gonna hurt me more than it hurts you, right? Yeah. Oh, Young Pyro? Okay, that's fine. Young Pyro discard. They only play like free, and my opponent had no like cantrips and stuff, so yeah. Inquisition? Okay, that's pretty good because it gets Violent Outburst. That's like the other angle, like because of Violent Outburst. But like I like having an extra power. Like I can't, like with Living End, you do need like some power in play. I would 100% take Violent Outburst there for what it's worth. There's no other card like you would take. Macabre? Macabre's interesting. I have to just cycle here. Steam Vents. I don't want to pay 2 life to keep Beast Within up, so we're just going to pay this like this. It was a bit too early to Violent Outburst. Okay, so Thoughtseize here. I don't really care what my opponent takes, because we have the mana we need. We just need to top deck. They could take Fairy Macabre, I guess, but we have Shriek Maw, so that's whatever. They could take Beast Within too, but we can't cast that, so yeah. There's nothing like super interesting in our hand. This is like the only card they didn't know about. Like, this could stop a Bedlam Reveler down the line, so I could totally see my opponent taking this too. But then like, yeah, so they took the Macabre, that makes sense. Because like Bedlam Reveler is like one of their best like carry-on mechanisms. Our opponent doesn't have a lightning like sorcery speed bolt effect. Because they would have like just cast it. Violent Outburst? Okay, that's super sweet. Let me think here. I wanna wait, I'm pretty sure. Let's just see what happens. Like, I don't think there's... Yeah, peeled it. But I don't think there's a card I'm fundamentally worried about from them. Like, it's instant speed. So, yeah. I'll just pass and see if they bolt something. Wait, Lightning Bolt? Okay. Sure. Lightning Bolt's fine. I guess like this gives them a oh, okay, I made a mistake because this gives them a token with a sorcery, because like if they have another discard spell, it gives them a token. This is like a good point to do it like while my opponent can't make a token. I don't want to take this damage. This is far too much damage. This is actually really a ton of damage. I'm considering using the guide to not lose too much life. Yeah, let's use Spirit Guide as gain 1 life. That sounds totally reasonable. I know it's weird, but like, yeah, if this resolves, we're in super good shape, so. Right, Shriek Maw this. Yeah. Our opponent can Bedlam if they have... Oh, yeah, sure. Lightning Bolt, Shriek Maw? Okay. Yeah, this is like one of the things that could have been worrying, but it's fine. Still kills a Young Pyro. We still have like 10 flying power. That's okay. Yeah, so they can Bedlam next turn maybe if they have something else here. I mean, you might as well play a discard spell, I guess. They should have played a discard spell pre-combat. That would have been like one more token. I made a mistake and they didn't capitalize on it. Maybe they didn't have it, to be fair. I could like Beast Within a land of mine. One of my lands. Or my opponent's lands. My opponent's at 15. Let's just attack and like have a Beast Within up. There's nothing too bad here. If my opponent terminates one of the flyers, then at least we're dealing damage. I could like, yeah, Beast Within one of my own flyers if like my opponent does something horrible. Let's just keep this like insurance policy. Okay, so my opponent can Reveler, but they lose. Okay, so we win the match. That's cool. Okay, we have one more game. Then we can hope that this would be cool. I'm pretty sure like the turbo version of Lean End is better. This version's super fun, but yeah, I think the turbo version's better. I think like the other thing though with this version is I think you have a little more flexibility as to what you can do in the sideboard because of like you're in blue and stuff. I just haven't figured out the right plan. Oh man, this hand is like spice. Like if I hit a land, I need to hit what, like land and the enabler, but then this is unreal. I gotta just try this. The one-off gemstone mine is awkward. The problem is we also can't draw Ardent Plea. I guess with a second land we could. Alright, so we're gonna play gemstone mine and we're gonna pass. So that's gonna be very strange for our opponent right here. It's gonna be really awkward if we keep drawing cyclers and this goes away. Steam vents, okay. Delver? We faced Delver twice to finish, and I haven't faced it at all in the rest of the series. Cycle this. Outburst? Okay, we got Outburst. How fast do I want to combo is the question. Like, just getting... Like, I could just, like, Outburst this turn. Or, I guess I can't play. I think if my opponent starts with Delver of Secrets, I don't want them to untap. So we're gonna just Violent Outburst, like, now. And we're gonna assume that these are gonna be good enough. Like, this is like one of the fastest possible starts. I mean, I guess like Street Rave would be way better here, but whatever. Green, red, red. I don't want to like take the risk that my opponent untaps and has counter magic. That sounds terrible. Let's just like do this on turn 2 on the play. That seems much better. We have more than enough pressure, so yeah, let's go. 7 cards? Okay, what would you have drawn? We would have drawn City of Brass, Simeon's Spirit Guide. Oh, so it wouldn't have been even that bad a draw. I don't think I was getting better than this, though. This is like 8 power on turn 2 while rafting their Delver against a blue-red style deck. It's never, like, it's never getting better than that. Like, no chance. They do know about Blood Sun now, though, which is kind of awkward. So they could, like, concede and not show more. But these decks usually play fetch lands. Because you get Delver, so you get, like, value from that. It wouldn't make sense not to play fetches. Right. They may not board in Blood Moon because they don't understand, like, it's so good. They probably understand it's good against us. We have a Gemstone Mine in play. And, like, we cycle the blue card and cast a green-red card. Yeah, they can probably figure out it's good. So, Serum Visions, bottom, top, okay. Oh, wow, they have 1 land? Okay, well, that's easier. I could, like, do this to cycle and, like, see what the next card is. It's fine. I don't want to show my opponent how many Fairy Macabres I have. I only have 3, though. So I guess that would literally be all of them. Right, okay. So, yeah. Basic Mountain. Okay. Swift Spear. Yeah, they're like on... I don't think this is gonna get you there. I gotta be honest with you. Snag. Ooh, Snag is pretty spice. I did not know they played Vapor Snag. Okay, well in that case we're gonna Scry 1, because we really need a land. So, what do we have on top? A Curator? No, we gotta bottom that. We might get there. Vapor Snag, man, that's so brutal. This is like the old Delver decks that had Treasure Cruise and stuff, but like... land? No. Like, cycling here is super risky. I think I was just gonna attack and not cycle. I mean, let me think, actually. Like, if I don't cycle... Like, this is just a one-time use, but like... What am I hoping to draw? Like, that... Like, a Steam Vents or something? I guess that makes sense, actually. That's good enough. Like, maybe not a Steam Vents, but yeah. Yeah. Well... We got 2 Fairy Macabres. They better be good. Vapor Snag, man, that really crushed me. This is unreal. I'm pretty sure like it's correct to go for the line I did, because like Roman and Minor League are such brutal cards with the hand we had. And I don't think it was worth waiting. And I don't think we could have even. We didn't really have, like, we didn't have the land to cycle Archfiend. If we have the land, then it's, oh my god, double snag? This is so brutal. They have snag, my opponent has snag and bolt now? Wait, they don't have bolt. They clearly would have bolted. Street Wraith? Okay, we have to cycle this. Okay, well... My opponent doesn't have another snag, Snapcaster, bolt, or whatever, then maybe. Serum Visions? Okay. Man, Vapor Snag, that really crushed me. Let's see what they do with this card. If they bottom both, then we have a chance. Bottom, bottom. Okay, we have a... This is a chance. We could get there. What do we go to? 8? Like, I'm not beating a bolt anyway, so like I might as well do this. Okay, Island is very good here. Right. Okay, my opponent doesn't have a bolt. Well, there is a possibility. They could have 2 bolts. Then they win. If my opponent has 2 lightning bolts, they win. Because then they bolt me and bolt me. But they wouldn't have known that because I was at 10, so they probably wouldn't have gone. They would have bolted this. This is a lot closer than I imagined this game would have gone. But it's mostly because of Vapor Snag. Because I thought the Macabres were pretty easy to kill, but yeah. What is this? Shard of Course? Why would you do this pre-combat? Like, it's extra damage, and for sure you have a card in hand at least that is not doing anything for you right now. I understand you want to like draw straight up too, but like you need damage. Like every point of damage is so relevant. Okay, we won. It was a lot closer than it should have been, but we won. Okay, we're definitely playing Trap. On the I want to get more info before I play Blood Sun. Shriek Balls are good. They're playing Vapor Snags and shit. I don't like Fulminators, I guess. On the play, like, we could go for Blood Sun Fulminator, but yeah. I could put in like 1 Wear Tear as like a hedge, but yeah, let's just not. Street Wraiths on the draw are kind of awkward, because they're like a very aggressive deck, so yeah. I don't know about like the max number of Ardent Pleas and Violent Outbursts, because they have counter magic. So you do need 2 to go through, but like you want Ricochet. But the problem is like the living ends. We definitely need free ends. Clique would be interesting as like kind of a mid game blocker, just to get info. Maybe Clique is okay. Just like play it, block, get info. Yeah, that seems fine. Probably better. Like, do I really want land? As many lands? I guess we're cutting free Street Wraiths. We cut also like a few of our free drop cards. And we have more time. What land would I cut? One of those that deals me damage, like Forbidden Orchid, probably. Yeah, okay. We're gonna try this. Maybe the Orchid was wrong because I really need the untapped lands, but yeah. I could have also boarded out the islands, but it's damageless. Yeah, this is... Well, this is a pretty good hand, so we're gonna keep. As long as they don't, like, Blood Moon me turn 3, it's fine. This deck is super weak to Blood Moon, unlike the Ever Living End deck. I just think the Ever Living End deck is better. It's quicker and stuff. But this one was kind of cool. I wanted to try it out. Delver. Kate. Oh my god, really? Dude, come on. No. Okay, so for people watching, I understand how this works. So I feel bad for my opponent right now, just so we're clear. I don't feel bad for me, I feel bad for my opponent. We're not cycling right now because we already played the best possible land for this turn. Okay, so... Okay, basically, the way this works is Living End exiles the creatures from your graveyard, you sack what's in play, and then the cards that are exiled come into play. And this stops creature cards coming from the graveyard. What actually happens is they get exiled first, and then they come back. So, this is... The cage just stops nothing. Like, my opponent might as well have, like, gone 1 mana, discard a card. That's about as relevant as it is. Except it's not like even a spell or anything. It's just in play. Yeah, like... I feel really bad for them. We're going to cycle, by the way, the Riverwinder, since the creator has a higher chance of being hard-casted. And they also only have 1 land. Okay, we got Trap, which is great. So we can like, confidently turn 2 combo. Here... The island's kind of okay, because we have Ardent Plea, and we can go into Confluence or Mine. And then all the cyclers are blue-red, so I can just play Island and pass here. We're not obviously not Shriekbawing. Because Shriekbaw is like mandatory, so I have to destroy the creature. What do they do with Visions, by the way? They top the card. Okay, they pretty clearly topped this Mysterious Forest. Yeah. Well, yeah, but they kept the 1-lander because they're like, oh, I have Crage, so that helps me against the combo. Right, Young Pyromancer, it's fine. We're gonna just cycle some stuff first. Okay, drawing the Living End was obviously bad. It doesn't matter much, it's just a, yeah. What do we have? We have 2 creatures. Well, if I draw another cycle creature, I can use the Guide. Maybe. I think I can, yeah. No matter what it is. The second guy won't help there, but that's fine. Okay, we're gonna make our... we can do a damageless one with Gemstone. Yes, we're gonna Ardent Plea. Blue-white, and then... yeah, that's gonna Cascade. And let me just see if I can get you some more music, like to finish off this stuff. Final Fantasy 2. The songs on this specific album I'm loading are very viral. Some are some of my favorites ever, and some are just awkward. Right, so we're gonna cast Living End. I think like the Hexproof guy is super powerful, anyways. So yeah, yeah. So let me load the next song and. Whatever. I think my opponent figured out what happened. I don't really need to explain. I think it's pretty clear what happened. Now, the nice thing is this hexproof creature, like this could get snagged, but this hexproof creature kind of gets the job done, so yeah. We also have Ricochet Trap if we need it, like pretty much on demand. And we have Shriekball. Like, at this point, we can just play like a mid-range plan with Shriekballs and stuff. Yeah, maybe I should have played a Mana Confluence, like I'm a healthy 20, and like losing a land, like a counter on this might be worth 1 life. Okay. I don't think Swiftspear is a card I need to kill. The only card I really need to kill is like this Young Pyromancer. Oh, Upkeep you bounce Curator? No, that wouldn't make no sense. Okay, so... I might actually cast the Simian Spirit Guide here. No, because I don't think so. Maybe I can. I'm definitely gonna like snag this though. That seems much better. Don't want to like do that actually. Is that really... This is a ton. Like I could just recast this Curator this turn. It's not like a cost to me. I'd rather like while this snag is not a problem, I'm happy for it to happen. Like it'll be a problem later. Like right now, it's just 1 mana like return, and like I can just recast this with my mana, so it's fine. Yeah, that mining counter might have been a mistake. Yeah, I can trap him later. I don't have to do it now. Like imagine like I cast Shriek Maw and then like he plays some counter I've never seen before, and then we can ricochet trap that. Yeah, the trap would have been funny. It's just like not necessary. My opponent would go to like it's creature's controller, right? So he would have gone to 6 because it's 4 and 1. But like there's no real need. Like my opponent right now like probably has to chump block as things stand. I could like hard cast a Shriek Maw here. And then I could like trap the remand. Yeah, that's probably for the best. Let's do that. So like cast. We have like tons of mana. That's why I'm happy to do this. Right. So cast this Shriek Maw. Actually, this was a mistake because my opponent could kill their own Swift Spear. Okay. Well, we won. But this time we went free too. It's fine. Okay. Let me. Opponent not understand. Yeah. That's going to happen in a 15-round GP. You're going to get an opponent with Cage with Living End for sure. Okay, let's crack this chest. What did we get for all this hard work, like all this hard time? We got a Jet Medallion, which is apparently a card that is curated for our pleasure. So that means that card exists because it's meant to be something that we want. And it's worth 0.87 ticks. So I'm going to go on a limb and say, like, probably this should not be a curated card. But that's just me. But yeah, White Sun Zenith is whatever. Okay. The original cat token maker. Okay, so you should play the original version, I'm pretty sure. This version was super fun for what it's worth. I guess, like, the Blood Sun could have been okay. If I went back to the original Living End, like, I think, like, the way this was structured was good, but if you didn't want the Architects of Will, you could, like, change the mana base to not have Verdance, or still have Verdance, actually. Like, I think it's fine to have the Verdance and, like, play 2 Blood Suns or something. Like, you could do, yeah, you could, like, do this, I think. It's a free mana card. It does cantrip, so yeah. I don't know. Probably the Architect is better, if I'm honest. Like, just having Cyclers is important. But yeah, you saw like both versions and Architect of Will. Oh man, one of my favorite cards. Alright, so that kind of sums up the stream. Tomorrow is going to be the end of the 30 days. The last stream. I still haven't figured out what green-black deck I want to play. Which is, I think, embarrassing, but that's just that's my problem. That said, I think the green-black... I'm not sure. I'm going to like see if Willie Edel's got an updated version for me. But I'm going to try to make as much of a party stream as I can tomorrow, like fun stuff. I don't know what that stuff is. I'm probably going to have to like tank on like what that would be tonight. But yeah. It was kind of nice to have a winning record with Living End. It's the type of deck that I don't think will perform well at like a higher level event because people know what you're doing, and I think it's like the type of deck that like flourishes at at Star City game tournaments or PDQs or not even PDQs. Like yeah, it's because like once your opponent like the problem is you're locked to free mana. There's only so many tricks you can do. So yeah, straight BG with like Field of Ruin, right? Yeah, straight black green with Field of Ruin is super interesting. You could also, yeah. Okay. But yeah, so like, yeah, we went better than I expected with the Living End deck. That was kind of nice. Yeah, so hopefully that was enjoyable. So I'll see you all tomorrow for like the last stream of the 30 days. And I'll actually be happy to be finally complete. Okay. So, but like, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. I know you could be watching some Street Rivals of Ixal. Sorry, I was joking about that. To be clear, I will be a very happy bunny with Rivals when Ixalan Limited block is finished with. It was probably... I will be delighted when that block rotates out of Limited. It was... yeah, that was no... That was something like the most miserable Magic I've played in like years, has been Ixalan Limited. Which, yeah. But yeah, we played Modern, which is good. Actually, to be fair, the standard format with like the bends and stuff would have been really interesting. So I'm kind of like semi-disappointed that this Pro Tour is Modern. I would have wanted, like a standard Pro Tour this time would have been like super exciting. But yeah, like the way that Wizards scheduled it, I mean, I talked to Scott Larrabee about it, and like essentially like, it kind of like the way it all fell down, like it didn't really quite work out. Like, I think like if they had full knowledge, they would have done Modern the last Pro Tour and Standard this one, and like that would have been perfect. But because of the World Championship featuring the new format, that was like kind of an accident rather than design. So yeah, so I think like Wizards would have like done it that way. They just like because of scheduling and venues and like announcements and stuff couldn't. So that was a shame. It would have been great though to be able to play Standard at the next Pro Tour and have had the Modern Pro Tour last. As for what I'll play at the Modern Pro Tour, still not 100% sure. I'm starting to have a few ideas. I want to like kind of brew as well, but it's super hard to brew in Modern. Like to brew in Modern, usually you need like something like a really new angle, because like otherwise you're just doing something worse than others. Like, let's say for example I wanted to brew a Mox Opal deck. Like, what am I doing with Mox Opal that Affinity and Lantern aren't doing better than me with? Like, because like clearly if I'm playing Mox Opal, like there's only so many artifacts that are 0/1 that would be that efficient. I guess KCI is like the other deck, but like, so like you have an aggro deck, you have a combo deck, and you have a like prison deck that would use Mox Opal. Like, if I was to design a new Mox Opal deck, it would have to be like either a new strategy or something like beyond these archetypes. But yeah, I mean that's like an aside. I thought it was an interesting one, but yeah. Thank you, by the way, for watching. I really appreciate everybody watching. Give a follow if you haven't. Like, I know it's just for one stream technically tomorrow, but I will stream like when I come back in February. Just not every day. Like, every day is over. But like, you know, like probably once or twice a week. Depends how good the standard format is. I might do standard. I'm not tempted to do Rivals Limited. Yeah. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this list. This deck list was very fun. The Neo Living End one I had there. It was something else. Yeah, it's just like, it was very fun, but yeah. Anyways, take care. Thank you so much for watching, and hopefully see you all tomorrow.